Welcome to Ready or Not, yet again talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm here, I'm excited, I'm your host, Ben.
That's it. Ben, we got 2 hours, okay? You gotta hold on to that reserve there, man.
No, I'm already drained. I'm already down. Someone take over.
It seems his cursed energy is run out, and his cursed technique of being a good host has been supplanted by me, Grant, who is breaking in and says, "You're no longer useful or interesting to me, Good Time Zone fans." Poofa!
Wow.
Then I lock you all in my domain or something.
I figured out how to do a black flash, which involves...
Yeah, go on.
The 6 eyes either makes it easier or a lot harder, depending on which translation you're looking at.
And then when I do it, it papa, and now you're dead, or maybe not.
Now I'm a fish stick.
But we're reading Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 202 to the present, so anyone who's wary of spoilers, be aware that this is hopefully going to cover all of it this time. Hopefully.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, certainly. I can't believe we thought we were going to get all the way caught up in one video. That seemed like a fool's errand.
I think in my mind, I thought we were just going to do one super long stream, and then we were like winding down at like 2 hours. I was like, oh, this isn't going to happen.
Yeah, but it also took us like 2 hours to figure out how we were doing that stream.
Also true. We did like it. We did like set up the whole.
Develop the whole overlay in the 3 hours leading up to it.
Yeah, that could have been a 4-hour stream, but yeah,
if you're listening to this in the future, 264 is current chapter, so 202 to 264.
And if you want to see the rest of it, we've got all the other episodes on the funny little podcast tab. If you haven't seen that before, you should be able to look at the channel and see it.
YouTube Music app, you can listen to it on your phone without, you know how if you don't have YouTube Premium, if you lock your phone, it stops playing the video. So if you want to listen to this podcast, use the YouTube Music app, and you can do that.
Oh.
And then when we go, wow, that looks so cool. And then you can wonder what we're talking about, because I'm not going to say it.
We're going to be trying hard to describe what we're talking about, but we're going to miss some of it. So if you want to watch the actual video one, that might be a good idea.
Oh my God, if only you were looking at this part. It's so cool. You can't see what I'm putting on screen right now, though.
Life-changing.
It's amazing. Wow. Look at that picture of Kenjaku kissing Sukuna.
Hold on. Let me get that off.
With both of his tongues.
Do you think, does he have 2 tongues?
Yeah, he has to. He talks like he like the whole point of the other mouth is to speak curses. It has to have like a whole functioning tongue and teeth. And
well,
jaws.
I mean, do you need to use a glottal stop in chanting curses? What if? I'm
pretty sure there's going to be a la 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 sound somewhere in there. You can't do that without a tongue.
How
would you make a sound?
Yeah.
Yeah. See that? Now you sound ridiculous. Now you sound absurd.
I think that's how you would chant, in fact, the most powerful curses.
Yeah, Sukuna's got 20 fingers.
Stop with that.
Yeah, Sukuna has got 20 fingers and 2 tongues and like over 100 teeth.
So if he split both of his 2 tongues, would he have like 4 tongues?
Ooh.
Do you think people with split tongues can say like double T's and like different consonants, like that the human brain can't comprehend?
No, but I do think they can sing 2 pitches at once, which is crazy.
That's not how that works.
They can harmonize.
That's different than having the split tongue, right? That's something else.
It definitely is. You all fell for my trap.
I don't know.
If you split the tongue, you can
you
control them individually, right?
Anything mouth related, I just refer to Grant.
I think there's some like monk chant or something that makes your vocal cords work in a way where you do make 2 simultaneous notes.
Yeah, where you
I have no idea how that's possible.
I have no idea either. But I know the split tongue, you can control them individually, right? So it's like a double bass pedal. You can all over
really
oh my God,
your
can you like do like the brr, but like omega fast?
Yeah, like it's so fast it just sounds like he's going duh to your dumb ears.
What does blowing raspberries sound like?
We have so many questions. We need to find someone with a split tongue. And
I know someone with a split tongue. Here, I'll send her a message real quick.
Can you please send her a message and say,
what exactly am I asking?
Can you roll your R's like twice as fast? That is the question.
And can you make T sounds twice as fast?
See, the problem for me is I
akin to
roll
a
my
double
tongue
bass.
like almost exclusively with the very middle of my tongue. So if it's split, I don't even know how that works.
And
the
they
middle
split
of
it
each
pretty
of
far.
the sides of your tongue.
Think about like where you get your tongue pierced. It's split all the way there.
No, yeah, I understand. That's what I'm saying. Like the very like tip, the center tip of my tongue is where my brrrts come from. I feel like so like if that center wasn't there for all of it, then I feel like these two clipped tongues are gonna be flopping against each other and not rolling the arms. This is all important, very Jujutsu Kaisen focused science.
God
by the
forbid
way.
we have fun on our own fucking show.
No, I'm saying I'm supporting this evidence.
Sure. Okay.
Listen,
so
we're just gonna need to let this go where it will. We're all a bit tired today, and we're gonna be a bit low energy, and it's gonna get either weird or it's just gonna go nice and chill.
I thought I was giving us a fun on ramp,
no,
but
it's getting
apparently
sexual. That's what's gonna happen. The last thing that we covered is this panel, I believe, was like I don't think we did anything after
Kenjaku
this?
breaking through the hexagons into Tengen's lair.
Yeah. And then
safe place, supposedly.
I don't know how, because we have to. All right, so we've now done 3 of these, so you'd think we'd like know how this works. Do you want to? Do you want to flip through shit and then like do you want to like summarize stuff? Does anybody have like overall thoughts to say about the Kenjaku Choso and what's her name fight that somebody surely remembers because
I have
their
almost nothing to say about this fight, honestly. Like it made very little impression on me personally. So
I think there's something towards the end of the fight that I think's kind of fun. Also, just right here where he's manipulating, like it's brought up later in like a chapter or 2, I think, whenever Tengen's like talking, but like he's just a master of barrier technique, so he's constructed the barrier to look like a theater to show off his master plan.
that
Like,
makes sense.
I'm just gonna make the optimal place for you to see what I'm talking about.
Let me just show you. It's not just like a little, hey, the anime's doing a fun little, this is in their mind. No, he's actually made a theater there.
And the TLDR of Kenjaku's plan is
lol. I'm having fun.
I mean, that is like the motivation he gives, right? It's just it'd be super funny if everyone merged together and it looked kind of silly.
Yeah, it'd be a little silly.
So that's what the Culling game's all
around-
about, is gathering enough cursed energy to merge all of Japan into one horrendous
Some
amalgamation
wacky, silly thing.
and see what that looks like.
Could be funny, could be silly.
Kenjaku's like, yeah, wouldn't it be great if he just like ends up with a funny face? What if that's how it happens, huh?
Yeah. And
LOL, man.
yeah, so it's just like I just want to do shit because it sounds funny. And I think that is a good foreshadowing that Kenjaku likes silly stuff. We've seen that before.
He's a silly little fella.
Yeah, he's a silly little Billy, but we're underlining
It is kind of
that
an
a
interesting
little more.
conclusion to come to, like someone who's lived for hundreds or thousands of years, I don't know how long. It's just like, I've seen everything. I just want to see something that's like totally catches me off guard, and that's what humor is. So it's an interesting connection to make.
I love a fun villain that doesn't need a super interesting like thing going on. It's just I'm having fun with it. I'm evil for the sake of evil.
Guys, is Kenjaku the Joker?
He is.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the Joker,
he's the
baby.
Joker. We've said it. It's there.
But like I don't think we don't know much about his like past at this point, which I assume is going to be the next thing. Like we're going to see that later on, but like up till now, we haven't seen much of his backstory. Like we don't really know.
We kind of just know he's been
anything.
body swapping. We really don't know a whole lot beyond that, I don't think.
He talked
Yeah,
to
like-
I
Lightning.
think that's true.
Lightning Man forever ago, and like that's about it in terms of flashbacks with him, right?
Yeah. Other than like he committed some big crime and was like excommunicated from Jujutsu Society.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
I think whenever he first showed up or revealed himself to everybody
Yeah.
at the end of like the season 2 anime.
And then they do a fight.
And then the blood guy fights. I don't remember his name.
Choso,
Choso.
how dare you forget Choso?
Oh, I'm sorry, Choso.
I love Choso. Look at this. Look at the fuck. He shot blood across the panels, Ben.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh, whoa.
The blood pierces the panel.
Look at all that blood. It's going pashoom.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then him just showing off that he's a good fucking sorcerer. I'm just playing with you, beating the shit out of him.
We've
Yeah,
got
I feel like he works real hard and doesn't get much done against Kenjaku for the most part, from what I remember.
yeah. I mean, we know for sure at this point that Choso is like the son of Kenjaku, right?
Well,
Yeah.
That was
kind
revealed
of.
at the end of season 2-ish.
It's he mixed his blood and cursed energy with the mother of his mom, because he's not actually his dad like at all, but he mixed his blood in whenever she was pregnant.
Got it.
But he is Yuji's mother.
Yeah.
It's basically like the three parents kind of situation. You get it.
Yeah. He calls him as, like, I don't know whenever it's brought up, but it's like he's like my second father.
Yeah.
He is a parent, apparently.
That's a good one.
They're all on your back.
Just a little wordplay for your comic book.
Any specific notes for any of this? Am I doing this whole thing?
They're just
He
doing
starts
a lot of
copying their
fighting.
power. That's cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't do it again later though.
I don't remember a ton from this fight.
I really don't.
Me neither.
It felt like it had very little. Like, he's talking about how he's like, oh, I'm big brother, I'm supporting everyone, and that's kind of just like something that was, I already got that
I
from him,
knew
so
that
it's
of
not
him,
big
yeah.
character moments.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, it's a fight, it's happening, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to read through, just not much to talk about.
Yeah. The only thing that like I think shows up here is like we get an inkling that, oh, he has another thing that isn't using cursed spirits, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
There's more
What
to his
what
powers.
what is that thing?
Yeah, and then Yuki, Yuji,
You
I don't know her name.
Sukumo.
yeah,
I
the
want to
woman
say
who
it's
asks what
Yuki
kind of
because her
women you
name
like.
is Snow, I think. I remember her as being Snow.
Yeah, I'm seeing you.
The particulars don't matter. None of this matters, is the secret.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters.
Let's just get this over with.
This is definitely a fight where it's just like we are holding out for time. We know this guy's probably going to beat us. We just got to slow him down the best we can.
Yeah. And she has the little funny little thing, and I don't know. I don't give a fuck about any of the particulars. I don't care if it's called a shikigami. I don't care what the fuck it is. So
But it's a
if I
soccer
get
ball.
if I get it wrong, then you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Uh-oh.
And being corrected won't let me enjoy it anymore, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, they fight, and then he talks about
She's got
what
like
he has.
mass manipulation powers.
I forgot about
think.
that. Yeah. Oh, and then we get a Hunter x Hunter page.
Yeah, it's just two panels with one of them is copied from a previous panel.
Yeah.
And then three panels comprising 2/3 of the page is just text.
Look,
Yeah.
Gege set himself to do one page a day, and that day he had a lot of other stuff going on.
I enjoyed this little bit where they're like assessing each other, and they're both like, oh,
They
this
both
sucks.
hate fighting each other.
Yeah.
It's just a really bad matchup that
yeah,
nobody
you sh-
likes.
This is
Yeah.
when two zoners
I was
have
just
to fight
gonna
each
say
other.
two
Yeah.
zoners. Yeah, this is fucking grand finals smash, and you're playing Bayonetta and holding the fucking gun because you know whoever blinks loses.
This was like, what was it, MKX or whatever? That was just like, oh, it's just two Aaron Blacks just shooting back and forth.
What a dog shit game. I'm just kidding. Just the meta. But yeah. He does whatever this is.
His domain.
He expands the domain.
Have we seen this before?
Wuprofusion.
No, this is the first time we see Ghetto's domain.
Yeah, this is Ghetto's domain, not him.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, and they were like trying to. I remember the thing is like they're trying to bait him into using it so they can like do something.
Yeah, they wanted Choso to go in fighting first, so whenever he gets defeated, or when she steps in, it makes it seem like he's actually out of the fight, so he can come back in.
Do you know? My
Okay,
cat
yeah.
is sitting on the desk, and I'm trying to get him to come sit with me. Hang on, this is very important. Come here. What are you doing? Okay. Ben,
Taking over the
I'm
What's
gonna
up?
ask you to tell me.
All right, I'm going to say it.
Only Ben.
All right, just me.
What does simple domain do?
Simple domain
Nobody help him. No one
Simple-
type anything.
I've got nothing to say to this.
I'm not looking at any
I'm
chats.
trying not.
A simple
This
domain.
is my autism, is that I remember all this.
I'm happy you do. I don't remember any of it.
It's just your curse technique.
A simple domain is one in which you can create a space around yourself, which will increase the effectiveness of and allow for certain various uses of your technique to. I'm just trying to string together words until I can think of anything to go with.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta pick a direction, man.
No, I think it's just like a domain in which you can create rules that anyone within the domain has to follow. It doesn't necessarily give you more power, but it gives you the strategic element. That's my guess.
Okay, because here's what I think it is, and then Grant has to say it. So I think this is, from what have gleaned, it's like a little, it's like shielding in Smash, where it like makes a bubble around you, and it makes you like invincible to whatever. Like if you do it, like it doesn't matter what attack hits you, only something with a certain property, aka like a grab, air quotes, let's call it a grab, which I think like another, I don't know, they could do something to break it, but like, this is the scissors to the paper of domain expansion, where you can just do this, and you're not gonna like die. I think that's what I think.
What they're talking about. Say what it is.
Nope, Grant, what are you doing?
Well, I think simple domain, aka the new shadow style simple domain,
Yeah,
is an anti-domain technique that erects a small domain complete with a barrier around the user to protect them from the effects of a domain expansion.
I'm really glad Grant's been reading and paying attention.
Shield
Simple
and
domain
Smash,
was
that's what I
originally
said.
meant to be passed down through like Sadatsuna Ashiya's school of thought, and it was forbidden to spread to outsiders. However, in the modern age, several sorcerers with no relation possess the ability to use simple domain.
Because we realized everybody could use a shield like this.
Yeah,
if we want them to
like,
live.
we made shield universal because it would make offense more interesting, basically.
But yeah, this is just a Smash shield.
Our RPS becomes boring when you take R out of the example. Basically.
Yeah.
But I thought the simple domain was how like they were getting all that wacky stuff like with the court system with
No, that's like a different.
No, that's an
thing.
actual domain.
That's an actual domain.
The court system is an actual domain.
Yeah, I think the court system, the court stuff was.
Okay, I misinterpreted a lot of that because I thought that was like simple domain stuff. I thought.
No, he's a genius. He figured out domains in his first day of sorcery.
It's a domain, but he traded the accuracy, the fighty part for a goofier mechanic.
I thought that's what a simple domain was because I think they said simple domain somewhere next to that. And
No, I think they said like his domain is simplified or something in the translation.
There was the sumo guy. His was a simple domain. Like,
was it?
No, his is an actual domain too.
Yeah, no, simple domain is a proper noun. Like it is exactly this. It is this shield. That is the end.
Yeah.
According to fandom.wiki or whatever.
Oh, okay, yes.
Rukujushi Mio, aka the sumo guy, simple domain creates a sumo wrestling ring where he must receive his opponent's permission to engage in order to complete his barrier. Agreeing to a sumo match avoids the need for binding words and vows and results in pure sumo. So his is apparently a simple one.
What?
Wiki's wrong, dude. Wiki's wrong.
According to this wiki.
No, we'll get there and prove it wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we already passed it. He's gone. He doesn't come back.
Yuki uses simple domain in addition to having the ability to expand her own domain. She was skilled enough in the technique that passed down her knowledge. Who can also perform while Yuki can use simple domain to neutralize a can't miss attack within a domain, it only brought her a few short seconds. So this she does use simple domain, as you can see here.
Yeah, the concept simple domain, proper noun, there's only this.
Then why did they bring up simple domain when they started talking about all those like domains with specific rules?
I think they said something else where it was like, no, he has a simpler domain or something.
So they just accidentally used the term that would later be coined for this specific technique.
It's a
No, it
very
was
simple
coined
domain,
earlier.
but it is not simple domain.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand?
because you do see this in the
Simple
Hanami fight.
adjective versus simple proper noun.
Yeah, it's totally different.
It totally makes sense. It's like King Crimson. It just makes sense.
Also, yeah, you read the official translation.
Yeah,
right?
should I get into that? Because I have a whole...
Do you want to talk about this now?
Thank you, Parasite
Please.
Syndrome, just saying it was a simple mistake.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that while we're here?
Sure, let's go into it because I'll bring it up consistently, so we might as well get some groundwork going. I mentioned this at the very beginning as well. It's just like there's a infamous moment where this translation just totally misrepresented what Black Flash
Is?
or how Six Eyes affects Black Flash.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm just gonna put it in our little chat here so we can show the comparison.
Okay, so this first image is...
The first image is
let me zoom out. Hold on.
the first image is the correct translation or closer to correct. It's from, I believe, TCB.
Sure, okay, why can't I unleash a Black Flash whenever I want? Why'd you think I could in the first place? Because of the 6 eyes?
So that's when he's clearly saying, because despite the 6 eyes, Black Flash is still difficult, is what he's saying.
Yeah. So then
Then the
this is-
official viz.
the official translation says, do you really need for me to explain why I can't use Black Flash? Well, to break things down for you, it's because of 6 eyes.
Entirely different.
Yes.
This translator is apparently infamous among people who read Jujutsu Kaisen more frequently than I do, because he just frequently misinterprets things, frequently just changes the meanings of a whole lot of stuff, makes things just a lot more complicated to read through. I got an example for that.
Yeah, this is just a horrible run-on sentence. Also,
Yeah.
well, to break things down for you, it's because of 6 eyes, when this just reads so much more clear to break it up like that.
And the bottom one you can see is, for this example I just posted, is a lot more wordy. It's just the extra 3 lines because he just changed the word order into a way that just doesn't make nearly as much sense. And there's probably some misinterpretation of meaning in there as well.
Assuming that the outburst of the cursed spirits in Shibuya using the manipulation technique was the largest in scale yet, Rika-chan's power was necessary to stop it. Rika's strength would have been indispensable for reducing human fatalities if the out-of-control cursed spirit manipulation technique had caused cursed spirit discharge on a maximum scale in Shibuya. That's terrible. This
neither of
grammar
their
is
sentences
awful.
are great.
Yeah,
but
they're
Yeah,
not.
but the second one's just exhausting.
Yeah,
It's-
that's really bad.
And so I read through the full translation, and by the time we were doing the Culling game stuff, I was just starting to realize I'm not able to follow any of this. It just feels like way too much. And I think part of that is the fact that it's, a lot of explanations and stuff in the vein of
There
Hunter
is,
x
yeah.
Hunter. But I followed Hunter x Hunter fine, and I love it for all this over explaining stuff.
Mm.
But this stuff I just couldn't understand. Like it didn't break things down in a way that I could interpret.
Well, I mean, it helps when they have there's too many objects and subjects in this sentence to
Yeah.
the way English works. You a lot of shit
You
in
have to
Japanese.
break this down a little bit more.
A lot of shit in Japanese is contextually implied, and so if you maintain a lot of that and do a more direct translation, it's a little more kind of up in the air about okay, well, it's kind of inferred sometimes about who they're talking about what, and so some translators will, I think, overcorrect to go jam in context, and then they end up making the sentences too fucking long. When you can get away with making it as long as it is in Japanese, which tends to be shorter and not be word spaghetti like this. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. The most infamous example is just the fact that the not I'd win was just changed to no, even though that's not what the word bubble's even saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just saying yeah, which is just Japanese for
it's
no
not
or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I even looked it up because I was like, maybe these translate, maybe TCB isn't always right. Maybe I'll just double check. And it's no, it's just this kanji means victory. This suffix means a definitive, resolute sound.
Mhm.
It's just okay. No, it seems very cler that he's just saying I'd win.
Yeah, like I would win. Is like the focus on it for sure.
So that's if I misunderstood anything and everything, it's entirely not my fault. Is what I'm saying. Is entirely on the part of John Weary, who's translating this manga. He might do better for other manga from what I'm seeing, but then again, I've seen a lot of complaints from, I think he did One Punch Man, and I've heard a lot of complaints about that one as well. So
yeah,
a bit iffy.
Yeah, no, I think a bad translation can ruin an experience, and there's a lot of it out there. The fucking Viz translation of Dragon Ball is one of the worst ever. Like, it is insane. Like, people are coping so hard over at Kanzenshu. They're like, 40th anniversary of the manga this year. Maybe they'll get a retranslation. It's like, yeah, AI.
No,
they will AI translate that shit. That's what you're getting, and you're gonna like it, if anything. Unbelievable.
I avoid Twitter, but when I was trying to get back on it so I could promote myself better for my comics and stuff.
1,000 stupid words.
1,000 stupid words on Twitter. Look out for it. It's making comics. But thank you for the plug. But one of the things I saw is just like, there are people who are pro AI translation because every localizer is bad.
Yes, because they don't direct translate. That's why they're bad.
Because they don't directly translate it. It's like, no, that localizations are very necessary for, especially for something as vague as Japanese. And it's just a few people who don't do it properly who are spoiling the bunch. There's plenty of people who do great work out there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can't just say all localizers are bad because the best translations can only be done by humans.
Yes, absolutely.
And people who are good at what they do.
You exist in the context, Ben.
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I feel like there is so much more nuance that is like, I have used AI fucking machine translation stuff to talk to, like, to help augment some of my speaking with like Japanese people, because I needed to say words that I don't fucking know because we're doing a business deal. So like, okay, am I saying this the right way? And we were able to communicate fine with it, but like, I would always feed something in or get something out, and I would still have to go in and correct it every time. And this was like pretty recently. So like, I don't know what people are on saying that like, oh yeah, it's like perfect. No, it's fucking not.
Yeah, you try machine translating manga and see how that comes out. Because I did that for like a webcomic called Kimo Fujin, which you can also find on my Twitter at 1,000 stupid words. But that I put through both Google Translate and DeepL, and anything that didn't pop out and make immediate sense, I went through and looked up each individual word. I went through and tried to decipher the best context possible. I tried to use the characteristics just to figure out how they would speak it. And even then, you know, of course, there was just a big asterisk on all of it. It was just saying, this is machine translated. This isn't going to be good. But that took so much effort just to put it through Google and stuff that had a lot of human work needed behind it.
Yeah.
That a real translator is just going to be so much better at.
Fucking fluid translator who could do it faster and be accurate.
Exactly.
Wow. Imagine that.
Sometimes the computer gets it right in one go. And then think of all the money we'll have saved.
Yeah, sometimes for very simple sentences like, I like dogs.
No, you'll get, because the subject is implied.
Books, how complicated could it be?
Oh yeah, because the subject is implied, it could mean you like dogs.
Yeah, you like dogs. But yeah.
Is dogs plural or singular? You don't know that either.
Yeah, you never know. You like the dog. You like this dog? The dog likes you, maybe. I
think we all like the dog.
I do like the dogs. Got them dogs out on WikiFeet.
And I'm trying to pull up an example, but yeah, like weekly manga, doing that, it's all collaborative too. Like seeing, reading stuff on manga decks and stuff. They have groups, and every now and again you'll get a chapter that at the beginning it's like, this person did the text, this person did translation, this person did cleanup, this person did layout. Because like another part of it, like you have to redraw all that stuff in there too.
Yeah, you gotta letter it. You gotta make it fit and do all that other shit. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Crazy.
There's a lot that goes into it, and you can't just rely on AI for it.
Yeah. But we'll get there, Ben. Just give it 5 more years, okay? That's gonna be perfect.
Oh yeah, that'll be good.
The only way
Yeah.
we'll get there is to give it time to practice. We're just gonna have a couple dark years.
That's right, Ben. I'm gonna.
We're
Can we
just gonna
feed all
deal
your
with
shit in
very
there?
poor translations that we're complaining about other localizers for. It's fine.
And
Yeah.
then when we hire back human translators, we can make it a big deal. It'll be like classic Coke.
Coke. Oh my God, great! You're so smart. Is that what this
one's
is?
human translated.
Human translated.
Ooh, premium human translations.
That was the that is the meme everybody was talking about too. They're like, well, people still buy Amish furniture, even though we have like factory made IKEA
It's
shit.
true. It's
Right?
true.
Exactly. So we're gonna bring it back and be like, this one's human flavored.
now including
Yes!
context.
I love when
ability to
other
read
humans have
context.
involvement in my media.
I don't get that anymore. Not after the Cyber Wars.
It's been so long, ever since we started worshiping the T-1000.
Premium content.
Wow. Oh yeah, my content slurry. Thank you for another one, Elon. The Elon Bezos hive mind. You're my
Elon
favorite.
Borg, all praise.
But yeah, like
So-
there's some more later on that we can talk. That's a whole
Yeah.
fucking video going over translations and stuff. But
Yeah.
later
Point
on,
is, John Weary still a much better option than AI. So keep
Yes.
doing that.
the localizer argument, it's like a whole thing, and I do have a thing on that too that I want to go over, but that's a little later.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, simple domain, Grant. All right, so
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I gave you a full breakdown and total understanding. That
Yeah.
it is
It
once
is
again
a-
probably in like the simplest layman terms I
Yeah.
can do.
Simple domain and also domains that are simple. I understand it. all.
Yes. simple
it's
domain.
an anti-barrier, or it's an anti-domain technique that erects a small domain complete with a barrier around the user to protect them from the effects of a domain expansion. So
Yeah.
yes, I think your Smash Brothers shield analogy holds some water.
Thanks.
If we're going to believe
Domain
this.
expansions seem to be weak from the outside, but simple domains protect from the outside.
Oh,
How about that? Huh?
okay,
Okay,
all right.
yeah, sure.
That's a factoid I can
Uh-huh.
believe.
Tyler is the official encyclopedia of all of this. Is that right?
I think Grant's 10% right, but he's about there, yeah.
Okay.
Oh man,
Well, maybe you'll get there, tough guy.
my numbers are getting better every week.
Last week it was 5. He's doubling.
They do their whole little fight and
Oh yeah, their whole plan was for him to use his domain for Tengen to disassemble it.
yeah, so Tengen could like break it because they were gonna shatter their barrier or whatever. Yeah.
Because-
Yeah.
Because his barrier is within Tengen's, they were just going to destroy
yeah, so if they
Tengen's
broke
or
Tengen's
something.
barrier, it would, by transitive property, reduce every barrier inside of it,
Of course. Yeah.
which also includes simple domains. So now she's dead.
Yeah, she's just on the ground.
Yeah, she's just chilling.
But her fish is still there?
yeah, fish.
Surprise.
Oh yeah, and then her arms are like broken. I like that. The panel of her teleporting behind him and kicking with her fucking shrimp arm is pretty good. I like that stuff.
Yep.
All right, and we are
And Choso's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm also still here."
okay. I'm gonna lay it on you very brazenly. We're 40 minutes in. We're 6 chapters ahead of where we were. We have way
Listen,
more to go.
We got sidetracked by a huge AI
whole
discussion.
thing. We got
we
there.
did get in a whole thing.
We did get in the whole thing, but
Okay,
I'm just saying, if
yes,
we don't
we
want
can
to
continue
we
forward.
don't
I
have to
think
go
we-
page by page.
Yeah, we
on
covered most of this
everything.
fight.
Is there anything that jumps out from any of this that you want to go over?
I guess it's the ability he's using at that.
At the end,
Yeah.
which is
Turns out that I think it's gravity, but but he's inversing it somehow. I can't remember if they cover that.
yeah, he does
Because it's
the thing
Yuji's
later.
mom's technique.
Oh, is that where that's from?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's his biological mother's technique.
I remember this part. I remember black hole. I didn't remember if that was him or not. Apparently that was
her
her.
power is like anti-gravity, and he's flipping it to make it gravity.
Sure.
Okay,
I
yeah.
can't remember.
I know that she does mass, and so as soon as I hear a person manipulates mass, I'm ready for a black hole to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then, yeah, she does a black hole, because even if you have silly willy gravity powers, you can't escape from this. And I thought the black hole blowing up everything was a good like finisher to all the school. We're basically done with the school shit after this
Yeah.
point.
Ripping the school apart.
Yeah.
And then now we get to see. Oh yeah. This is what you're talking about.
Yes.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, anti-gravity system. Okay.
Yeah. Anti-gravity system was engraved in Kaori Itadori. Sure. And then you did a funny stuff, and then here's actual Tengen's body or
I
something.
think so, yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
implication
Inside of a tree.
Yeah, inside the tree. And then we see the payoff for because on the other end of it, Kenjaku was talking to the
You need to start sending the military
To the
into
man.
these weird shadow zones.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
the man is now invading Shibuya because Kenjaku was like, "Dog, why use nuclear power? You can just harbor these Chinese people in little things or whatever the fuck." And I was like, "Okay, sure, yeah."
Oh yeah, I don't think we talked about it at all, but like a few chapters before the last time we see Yuji and his crew, they're like, Toget, what's his name? The little
Yeah, what is this?
tool shows up. The game master.
Yeah,
The Kogane, the little
Yeah.
devil-looking thing that
Oh,
pops
yeah,
up.
they
It
all get
pops up
a
and
little
goes, "Hey, a bunch of people went, like 800 people just got added to the game or something."
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just like, "What?" And then this is a payoff like 8 chapters later.
yeah, because we cut.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, because we cut away to do all that shit.
Yeah, so Kenjaku basically tricked all the governments into sending in fodder to create more cursed energy
Yeah.
when they die.
And I mean, these are just jabronis who show up and die.
They do mention the one helicopter guy that's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
this one
Oh,
dude
yeah.
showed up and it was really freaky. What's going on here?"
And then I know that oh, good. I forgot we get to see him doing some little silly stuff there.
Good old comedy man. I'll never remember his name.
Takaba, I think.
Yeah,
Takaba
maybe.
sounds right to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose to believe you for now.
Angel
An
Girl's
Angel's little
flashback.
backstory.
Yeah, get that. Yeah, I like that they all knew it wasn't their mother. Get to see Angel Girl's flashback. And she's like, "Ooh, yeah, here's I'm so excited to be part of the team. Thanks for helping me out, but you know, I want to kill whoever because we learned at the very end of it, like I'm still here to kill the disgraced one or whatever.
There's one really
The
nasty
fallen.
guy out there, and
well, yeah.
I gotta kill him.
And that one is Sukuna. And
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think
Sukuna.
G is aware yet that Yuji is harboring Sukuna.
Yeah.
Yeah, all this stuff we're scrolling through right now is just the soldiers getting slaughtered and introducing Angel.
Yes,
person.
and then I forgot about this connection. That's right, where the dog was Fushiguro's dog that because Angel Girl was being like not
yeah, she got
implied
saved by
held captive or
Fushiguro.
something by a demon or whatever the fuck.
I'm sure in some way it was just siphoning off their cursed energy, or
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of
Oh,
like
like-
started a cult, basically.
Yeah.
maybe.
And then one of Fushiguro's dogs was like checking that place out for some reason, and then she followed it, and hey, got out.
That's how
Jeez.
she was free.
Grant, how does this make you feel?
I feel like it's one of those things where the devil will imitate God, and his work. And I think just, this is a satanic manga, and that's just what's happening here.
I think I agree.
What's the original painting called? The Myth of Creation, something, or Creation of Adam.
Adam meets God.
Son
POV.
of Man by Genesis.
Oh, the band.
Yeah. It's the one where God touches Adam's finger and everyone's naked. It's a reference to that one.
Yeah, and I liked this little bit with Yuji going like I'm still like kind of standoffish to the angel because I'm worried about Kugisaki getting replaced or
this
people
part to
resigned her
me
being dead.
Made me like confirmed for me, who couldn't remember what happened to her, that she was still alive, even though she very
definitely
clearly
dead.
died.
She's alive.
But
She's
but-
right
definitely
there
dead.
holding up a peace sign.
She's alive.
All I'm gonna say,
with
all
her
I'm gonna
face
say is
looking
that-
totally normal.
that she definitely looks like she took a fatal hit and by all means should be dead.
Every
But
chapter.
But that guy rushed away saying like it's not saying it's impossible for her to survive.
Not impossible.
So that little asterisk there makes me believe that it's one of those, like, he was surely saying that just to make Yuji not freak out or whatever. but I think that's the author tipping the hat a little bit. That's Gege going like someday she's coming back.
Yes.
Every chapter that I go and look at spoilers, someone reposts an image that's a redraw of her fighting the guy who killed her, and she has an eye patch.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that when I was just about caught up, and we're like, "Did you read this chapter yet? Have you looked at spoilers, Ben?" And I was like, "I think I might have seen a spoiler on Twitter," and that's what
It's always that.
I wasn't in enough on the community to know that was a meme.
But yeah,
it's not
as
a meme,
someone
it's
who completely had forgotten her fate and then saw these panels, I was like, okay, she is alive. Not realizing that this is him mourning his dead friend.
She's not dead.
She's dead. He's like, I don't want to replace her.
Yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
to think about replacing her in my heart.
And he's gonna die surrounded by friends, so she has to be there. Anyways, I
Yeah,
forgot.
are Gege interviews allowed where he's confirmed that she's dead?
Yeah, well,
She's
Toji's
in the
dead
same-
and Toji showed up. Being dead doesn't
Boom.
matter.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
can still be dead
You can
and
come
relevant.
back even after death. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how.
Oh, that's fair. That's allowed. Fine, but she's dead currently, correct?
No.
Okay, then
Out of commission, unusable for missions.
I tried to look up where that interview was, and it was just like
Yeah,
I
my
couldn't
friend
parse
said,
it for certain.
my best friend works at Gege.
Twitter
and,
sources are 100% accurate. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I machine translated this interview, and
Yeah.
It said, "Lol, she died."
yeah, well, she did.
Yeah, the John Weary version of the interview, he says she's fine.
Yeah,
so we
I'm
can't
sorry.
tell.
I was busy supporting the official release, Tyler. Anyways, this is like, I feel like this part just is nothing. Like nothing happens here,
this
right?
part to me makes me feel like Gege went, I'm tired of the calling game, so we're just going to
We're done.
we're just going to kick everything into gear and make all the setup that it was for just kind of happen.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. I think
yeah.
that works.
I think it's fine too, because like Kenjaku got Tengen. That was the point. Fuck it.
Yeah, like this whole thing was basically get everybody distracted so he could get Tengen kind of thing, and
Yeah.
boom.
And I mean the
There it is.
whole goal for this, right, was to save.
Go back a page.
was to save his
Gojo
sister. Because he was flashing back to the one assistant guy whose name is a name that I don't remember.
The assistant who was tailing Yuji throughout season 1, I think.
Yeah.
And Gojo's telling him in a flashback, "Don't be a sorcerer. You're just gonna die."
Yeah.
And then the assistant
He's
saying,
like, "But he
"Oh,
was
that was
right."
cool of him."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Megumi
And hey, Fushiguro's sister shows up. Hooray!
Sister
Everything's good again.
shows up. Sister shows up, and then add a rule that allows entry and exit across colony borders. And that's what she says to do that, right?
Even though like they gave her a bunch of points so that she could make a rule to get herself out in some way, I think. And then she just turns around and says, "Let's let the people fight easier."
Yeah, let's make this just simpler for all the murder to happen.
Yeah, like that sounds like a good idea.
And that's the reveal that she's not who she appears to be.
And now we're getting a little bit of like, who are you? What the fuck is this? And then there's this random lady with the wheelchair behind her too. I don't know if this is somebody we know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It honestly doesn't matter because we're gonna get to the cool part in like any second now, and that's just what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, that's a good face.
Yeah, so it turns out Fushiguro's sister was possessed when the Culling game started by some ancient Jujutsu people.
Some old Jujutsu lady.
Yeah.
When a being takes flesh, it gains knowledge of the present from its vessel's brain. That's how players of this type, such as Choso and Sukuna, are able to function in modern times.
Basically, like when you're an ancient person, get transported to a modern person, you understand modern things. You're not going to be like, "What is a car?"
Yeah, like you can immediately take them and play like fighters with them. They'll know what to do. You don't have to
they'll
explain
get
what
the
a
circle
forward.
is.
Yeah,
they'll know what you mean.
numpad notation. They got it all. Yeah. So then, like, oh shit! I didn't realize that she could become the awakened.
Yeah, I thought she
type or
had just
whatever.
got powers. I didn't know she was going to be one of the dead sorcerers
Yeah, the
that
dead
came back
people.
to life. Yeah.
She's Yorozu. And then and she wants to fight Sukuna. we get that little setup, and then she gets little wings and flies away after being brought here. And then this part happens, and this is all I wanted to get to, other than like
This
all
is
the
set up
big
way early in
part.
season 1.
yeah. So all the way back in fucking episode 5 when he first dies. There's a part where Sukuna's like, okay, I'll save your ass, but you're gonna make a pact with me. And then Yuji was like, I'll fight you, fuck you. I was like, okay, and then just instantly dies. Doesn't remember what he did. Here we finally get to see the payoff of that.
So
many
the
chapters
conditions
later.
were he says in chain, and he's allowed to take control of Yuji's body for a limited amount of time, and he's not allowed to kill or hurt anyone else.
Yeah.
While he's possessing him, and Yuji doesn't remember that they made the contract.
Yeah, and also part of the agreement is you have to forget about this immediately.
Yeah.
And so that is finally paid off suddenly without warning, which is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Right here. And Sukuna knows exactly what he's gonna do. He
channels
bite
himself
his own finger
into his finger, making a new Sukuna finger.
Cursed finger.
Yeah. He makes a new finger out of his current body, and then immediately Fushiguro realizes what's happening and tries to summon Big Chungus. And then grabs him and was like, nope, you're eating this. And then
stuffs a finger down his throat.
Yeah, stuffs the finger down him. And then now, in the next panel, Yuji's not Sukuna anymore. And then we see Fushiguro with the little Sukuna face paint shit. What the fuck? This moment blew my dick off. I was so happy with this.
Great. It is very good. And because I'm trying desperately to keep up with any character moments, because that's the only part I care about, apparently.
I mean,
it's also just like this Yuji's selflessness coming back to bite him continuously. He never made a condition where Sukuna couldn't hurt Yuji himself.
Yeah.
So because of that, Sukuna is able to rip off the finger and stuff it in his mouth.
Yeah.
I think this is such a good Yuji face. He's just swelling with a mix of emotion.
Yeah, he's surprised and angry and
terrified,
sad. It's really
terrified.
Good. Yeah, I thought this was one of the best moments that this series has done.
It's like we combined the nine-tailed fox and Orochimaru.
Yeah.
It was like all right, and now here's our Sasuke.
Threatening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is such a good twist, because throughout so much of Jujutsu, I really I referred to it earlier too. I just always felt the Naruto parallels throughout so much of it. It really feels like Sukuna's just Kyuubi, throughout all of this. That's literally what you are. Okay, got it. But this wrinkle here, because I always thought nothing bad is gonna happen to Yuji. He's got fucking god powers. What, right? What's gonna go wrong? And then doing this now, Yuji still has protag power, but now we have another amazing wrinkle. What if Sasuke had the crazy fucking nine-tailed powers and also is brain controlled? Now what? Because this was your defining trait. Yuji has nothing. Yuji has done nothing on his own.
Impetus has been having Sukuna in him. Has been his whole what has made him relevant, basically.
Yeah. And so losing that immediately made me more invested in him, and it needed to do this. So I was so happy to see this happen, because for so much of Jujutsu Kaisen, Yuji was one of my least favorite characters, because he's just nothing. And I thought Sukuna was just kind of whatever. Gege loves Sukuna. I thought Sukuna was boring. And then with this happening, I'm like, oh shit!
It's knowing he was planning this makes him so much cooler in retrospect.
Well, he's not having to be tied to the main character.
Yeah, once he's not the main character, he's cool again. I love this moment. This is such a good thing. I'm glad I wasn't spoiled on it. And the payoff from hundreds of chapters earlier is why I'm still invested. Because there's been so many things set up that haven't been paid off, and I'm like, what's the other thing gonna be?
It was a very clear setup, and I was like, oh, they're probably going to make some interesting use of it. He's going to take over Yuji's body for a bit, make a deal with someone that'll kind of ruin their plans somewhere along the way. It's just kind of it's the fact that it's a really, really good payoff is what makes it so exciting.
Mhm.
Like this
It's gonna be
changes
like the payoff
everything
when the one
immediately.
girl's still alive.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm saying, Grant. That's
We're
what
gonna
I'm
cut.
saying.
We're gonna cut back to that. It'll be like, but I thought you were dead. They're like, but so
It's
and
not
so
a
even said.
0% chance. It's
Yeah,
literally right
yeah.
there. Because what's gonna happen is the latest chapter thing is gonna fail, and then she's gonna show up and then do
And
the
then-
fucking hammer thing on his soul and separate him. Okay, anyway.
No, and then Sukuna, and she dies.
She dies for real, and then that's good.
Anyways, I need to change my pants after this moment, so I'm gonna give me 2 seconds. I need to get some water. We have now I think the biggest, maybe one of the biggest wrinkles in the story. The big plot device that was established in chapter 1 is now no longer attached to our main character. Da 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 da.
Yay!
Yeah, and then if you're like me and Ben, you cheered. Because finally something cool happened with it. And he just
I love that shot.
Yeah,
That's
he
such
looks
a fun. just
great.
like, look at me in my new form.
yeah immediately slicks the hair back. He's like, no, I don't need your stupid fucking hair.
Like, I'm not gonna hide behind your bangs.
I don't need that weird Sasuke hair anymore.
This weird fucking purple two-tone hair. I don't see him dye it. Where's the chapter where he dyes his hair? Yeah, and then immediately just bam through a building. So good. I thought this reveal is like what needed to happen for this series, and we immediately get Sukuna just starts going crazy, and then
Just the scale of this
yeah,
new.
the scale of everything.
Like
Yeah.
also check it out. I can make his monsters even scarier.
Yeah, punches Yuji through a building, summons this enormous Nue. There's just like multiple 2-page spreads throughout this one. Like this one was a spread, this is a spread, this is another spread. Like we just get a bam, bam,
Yeah,
bam.
it's
Here's the
huge.
scale. And now the angel has who she's trying to kill.
Mhm.
So she's gonna try and do all that. It's the disgraced one, according to this translation. Tyler, don't kill me. And then we see our first. Well, we see Jacob's ladder.
Yeah, we don't know this at first.
Yeah,
We're
sorry.
not spoilers toward the end to the
Yeah.
current of the series.
Hey, we said it was 264 or whatever at the beginning, right? I think.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You said whatever it is.
Then she fires another 2-page spread. Just bam, bam, bam. Giant
Very
fucking thing,
Independence
and
Day.
then this panel right
I
after.
love this.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh yes,
Is this censored? This isn't the censored one, is it?
I don't think so.
Because there's a version of this that's censored.
I don't think this is
Yeah, I don't believe this is.
I don't know.
I think I've seen the one you're talking about, and it just has
just a bunch of
Him
black
way-
over
him,
stuff.
him way more. Yeah, just basically you see like his silhouette more.
Yeah,
than-
the JoJo's censorship with just a black shadow and no, he's not smoking.
Yeah,
We're talking
pretty
about.
much.
That seems pretty detailed. But yeah, because now that Sukuna has gone into Megami, she has all the more reason to try and fucking kill him.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's like, oh yeah, that's right. And then this face happens. Where, like, it's kind of silly. There's like on some other sites, you still get to see the fun fandom thing. I'm happy to see people carry this torch of old Naruto scans and shit. People would always like color pages for like the releases and stuff.
Oh,
The
yeah.
color ones of this make this look very silly. Like it is. This is not like that scary. It just looks a little doofy to me. When Sukuna's like a weird little, I don't know, fucking Nightmare Before Christmas ass monster.
Yeah.
He tells him Large Marge sent you.
Yeah. But after all this, we start getting the setup for the next big arc after this. Like with Sukuna's transfer is like that is the big kickoff to, okay, now the plot has shifted, and then we are still in the thick of it of what is, I think this is like the definitive, okay, here's the next part of the story is now we gotta fight Sukuna.
Yeah. Sukuna's here, and we're gonna have to stop him.
I found a colored version, by the way.
Oh yes, please link one. I didn't want to go through and find it. I think this is the one that I saw.
They tried to add all like the details of the flesh there, and that just makes
Yeah,
it look
it just-
more weird.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I guess.
Excited to see what that's gonna be in the anime.
Ooh, yeah. Now it's
Yeah.
just moving. But the next big stake has been set, and Oh, hey, Yuji's walking again now. He's punched through a building.
He's cool.
Yeah, which is like, because
we knew he was super strong. He did have that before the whole.
and that's something I want to talk about here, right? We know Yuji is super strong. In some sense, he is athletic and just naturally endurant in a way that like fucking Wolverine shit, apparently.
It was kind of introduced as a goof early on, but I do feel like it is just like, no, he's just a man with like superhuman strength. Like,
I was under the impression this was a Naruto thing where Sukuna was giving him that endurance.
I feel like he had that
supernatural
before
level.
he ate the finger, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
he
kind of
definitely
strong
had that
before that
before.
happened.
Like the way they demonstrated it was with like baseball or something. He threw it into like a metal fence and it just destroyed it.
Yeah, but like he got
maybe that was
punched
shot put.
through a building.
Yeah, he's cool.
Oh yeah, he's got some endurance and stuff now.
He's also been training.
Yeah, he
post
has
getting-
basic
Okay.
cursed energy manipulation
Like,
now,
that's-
right?
that's
oh,
still
yeah,
happening.
also true. Okay,
I
I'm
also thought here he was gonna jump in and grab Angel, but no, she just flops over on that building.
Oh yeah. But Yuji's like livid now, and I think something like this needed to happen.
And he is just climbing up.
Yeah, more and more of it's fun seeing too, like the how much of Fushigoro's face like looks more like Sukuna's does. Like it's interesting
Yeah.
seeing his features come through in a different face. Because
Yeah.
it was that I appreciate how this is drawn. Yeah, then look at yay. More 2-pagers. Lot of fun shit with Yuji freaking out about all this and trying to stop him. And then is this the first time he does this? I know he does this like super big cuts in Shibuya, I think, because that's how he kills the Buddha thing.
Well,
I mean,
you mean
I don't know, he kinda
Mahoraga?
just
He
does
uses
cuts all the time.
he did his domain to kill it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought cutting in general was just kind of like his basic technique.
Oh
Like-
no,
Yeah.
he shows that off when he fights the when he kills the girls too.
Yeah,
He does that.
when he first.
Yeah, because he's got two different basic techniques, which is like cleave and dismantle.
Yeah.
I think this is one he's just doing cleave or whatever.
One
Yeah.
cuts and the other cuts differently.
Yeah, one cuts and the other cuts differently. Thank you, Ben, because we're gonna get into that in a fucking minute. Holy shit. All right. Yeah. Oh, he's so tough. It's my cursed energy output that's low. So it was like, oh, you thought Yuji was cool. No, Fushigoro's just weak.
Like, wait a minute, Fushigoro's just pulling back.
Oh, is this colored normally? Oh, it is.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen many colored pages for Jujutsu Kaisen. This is
Yeah,
pretty
that's
rare.
Officially colored.
Yeah.
Could be
This.
a nice little treat to start off with.
Remember this panel. 'Cause
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
that panel with
I'll bring-
Sukuna in front and Maki just appearing in the distance next to him.
Yeah. I'll bring something back with that later. Yeah. Then Maki shows up, and then kind of start a little bit of the rotating cast trying to fight Sukuna.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
all right. We're each gonna try to throw our hits in at serious big bad guy here now.
Yeah, a lot of fun fight shit. Really, really fun, cool action stuff. He does cleave here, spider web,
He sends the cleave out in a bunch of different directions, like a spider.
so he can
web.
cleave in any shape. Okay, like a spider. Got it.
Yo, he's just that good. He was the best.
He is the
He's just
best.
pretty
He's
neat.
so cool.
And his ice boyfriend's there now.
Yeah,
Ice person
Ice
decides
boyfriend.
to get in the way.
I hate that character. I do not like them at all.
You hate them so much right now just because you know we have to go back to
Because
them.
I know
Yeah.
soon I'm ready for after the latest chapter. Of course, it would that would be the
Yeah, we're
funniest moment
gonna
to cut.
Cut over to this. Yeah,
Now that something actually fucking
Reveal.
happened.
give you a whole chapter.
But yeah, then Sukuna's like, we need to do a silly little bath. I'm gonna bathe in blood or some
Look,
shit.
I'm in my depressed era. I just need to go take a bath with the
I
lights
gotta
off
do my
real quick.
full evil thing and really show that I'm bad and check out my ass.
And I gotta make Fushigoro be too depressed. He's not gonna want to have it. And then
We gotta fuck up the rest of the sorcerers that have a bone to pick with me.
So after he skinny dips in Ghost Come, he comes back out and everybody feels his spiritual pressure or his cursed energy.
His key.
His key is whatever you want to call it, his chakra. The king of curses has arrived! And then the other jabronis, the pompadour cannon face and space bird lady immediately show up and get murderized.
Yep.
And then we
Can't
get
make our new supervillain not or we can't let him lose to characters like this. This isn't the main squad.
yeah. And then we get the fight with Sukuna and Yorozu? What's her name?
And evil ancient lady. Yeah.
So Fushiguro, possessed, is fighting his sister, who's also possessed. That's kind of cool. This fight's
so
like
he wants
whatever.
So she's in love with him, and he wants to
Yes.
kill her because that'll be Fushiguro's sister, and that'll make Fushiguro give up.
Yeah, because he'll get all
resist him.
depressed. Yeah.
And he's wanting to do it specifically only with Fushigoro's techniques to really
Oh yeah.
carve
Yes,
that into
It's
him.
that's right.
you who killed her.
Yeah. And we got some flashbacks with them talking about their relationship, and they were like, she really
Yeah,
wanted to.
Is this the first time that we get to see what Sukuna looks like?
I don't think they show him here, but in a couple
I
chapters,
think in
they
a
do.
chapter, in a couple chapters from what
Yeah.
we're looking at. But yes, during this fight, I believe.
Yeah. I think it's like around here or something.
Probably.
And her
Yeah,
her curse technique is
They go like, hey, it's weak, but
Bugs.
she found a way to make it really strong by mimicking bugs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of like summoning shit, which I'm a fan of. I like when dudes fight with other things. I'm a
And
fan
now
of
they're
summoner
just the
type.
plus version of it.
Yeah. All the animals he uses just bigger and better.
And
I do like where it. I think this is where it starts. The whole "I will teach you love" thing.
Yes. There we go. That's the first
Hey,
time
there
we
he is.
actually
Yeah.
this is the first time we get to see what he actually looks like.
What
There-
a
yeah.
monster
It's just a
is.
dude with a melty face.
Yeah, he's
Because I think we heard that he had 2 eyes and 2 mouths, and that's all like we knew about his original body, and 2 sets of hands,
hear
Yeah.
that.
or
2
4, whatever. Yeah, 2 sets of hands.
And oh yeah, and she was like always naked. Like that was like a plot point
Yep,
for
that
something.
was- for
I
some
think that's
reason,
something
yeah.
for her ability.
I
I
don't
think
know,
is that why
whatever.
they
Probably for
explain
a
it.
reason.
Yeah. I'm just they got a little away with more implied nippleage than I thought they could get away with in
Yeah.
Shonen Jump.
Definitely some like nipple silhouette there.
Oh yeah, and then she makes a perfect sphere.
It should be fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible to even draw.
Yeah, nobody can draw a perfect sphere, but this is Plato's nightmare. There's no such thing as a perfect object. And then she uterus domain,
Yep.
and that's I don't remember what it does.
Yeah, this
Oh,
fight
that's
kind
doesn't
of
right.
really
yeah.
matter.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter because
Yeah,
fucking
kinda
Mahoraga
gets
just kills it and it's just like
Do you
whatever.
remember what Mahoraga does?
Adapts to anything and it can do anything that Gege
Yeah,
wants
he's
it
a
to.
living cheat code.
Yes.
yeah.
I have the best gun.
Yeah, so the sphere I remember was like crazy because it was just like you can't hit it because its surface is so perfectly there's
You're
no
just gonna
flat
slip off of it.
area. It's perfectly
Oh
smooth.
yeah, you can't like touch
you
it or
can't slip
anything.
off of
It's
it.
perfectly smooth. Okay.
But then he just punches it hard enough and he wins.
Yeah. So
You know, he adapted to it. He also became perfectly smooth.
yeah, it's like what Grant, did you say like the best gun or whatever?
Yeah, it's like just I've got the best gun and only I can use it. And,
Yeah.
it beats your gun and whatever your gun does. My gun does it a little bit.
Yeah,
better.
rock paper scissors
Yeah, that's
gun.
Mahoraga.
And then not only that, but it's also infinity +1.
Yeah.
whatever you have, I can just go a little more than that.
Yeah, it's who says the highest number, and you get to go second.
So great
Yeah.
job, Fushiguro, making the cheat code and then handing it off to the bad guy.
Yeah. And then yeah, she dies. And none of it matters because is this when it happens? Is this finally it?
It's getting pretty close to it.
Yeah. If it's not now, it's damn
This
close.
is
Very
when
soon.
Kenjaku tears down the Culling game pretty much officially
Yeah.
because he like gets to like the source of where the game's coming from, the source of whatever energy's supplying it.
Hmm.
And then he's like, okay, I'm just going to destroy you and end the Culling game unless you just add this rule for me for free. And even, or unless you just add this rule that otherwise go against the rules. And so the game just has to choose the lesser of the two bad options Kenjaku's giving it. And that's
Yeah.
how he overrides the system and ruins the Culling game.
Yeah. So now to win, we need to beat Kenjaku and Sukuna to beat the game or whatever. Well, hey, there you go. Makes sense. And then Oh, we get introduced to this little guy, or I don't remember if he showed up beforehand. Sugar
He
Man?
was the guy who was helping the jet and helmet propeller head guy.
He was
Call
a
people
minor
in-
character from before.
Yeah, and his name is Amai, and that means sweet in Japanese. I thought you'd appreciate that.
A little bit of fun wordplay.
Yeah. And then
Gojo's coming back.
do we know that? Was it established? Yeah, because we established it like, oh, we've got the back of it, right? Like they already
Yeah,
have
like
the back of
we
the.
already
They
have
already had the back of
exit.
it. The only thing they needed was to get Angel's cooperation, and
Yeah,
now that
because
they
she has to be strong enough to break it open or whatever.
and
Yeah,
now that they're all safe and away from Sukuna, they're like, okay, let's bring Gojo back. We got all the pieces.
Yeah.
I love how seriously they're taking it too. They're like, okay, well, can we do
Oh.
it in the building? No,
No.
absolutely not. What if Gojo like is gone crazy and
yeah,
there?
Gojo could have
yeah.
gone mad with time.
Yeah, I do like that. It's only 19 days since Halloween for us, but we have no idea how much time has passed for Gojo. It might feel like a moment, or it could be that he's been alone for centuries. I'm worried about the state of his mind. Yeah, so
What if we let the Hulk out and the Hulk isn't on our side anymore? It's like,
yes.
I mean, Kenjaku is presumably doing all of this because he lived long enough to just want to like see something new, and so he's killing people indiscriminately. Like Gojo lived potentially thousands of years inside this box, so it could be the same thing.
he
Yeah.
might just be as crazy now.
So then she does her Jacob's Ladder for the second time.
Ooh.
Mhm.
I didn't notice her sitting there in the director's chair. That's good.
Yeah. And then so they like blow up the object, and they're like, okay, well, the thing blew up, but he like appeared somewhere else. Like the back of it is let's see, he placed the prison realm in a subduction zone 8,000 meters underwater. I also left a cursed spirit as a detector. So he would know if it happened, and then that earthquake is Gojo escaping and
Getting out of the
hey,
ocean. And there's
Hey,
our
there
boy.
he is.
Gojo's back,
That's a-
motherfucker.
That's an awesome 2-page too.
Yeah, it's a really and this is when this if I didn't coom from the Sukuna thing, I coomed from this because this was I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this was the whole reason I wanted to like see what happened after the anime.
You needed to see Gojo get out of that.
So
box.
like,
Yeah.
there's no way he gets stuck in that fucking thing and is just out of the series. Like, how do they? I think I talked about this earlier because I'm just like, how do you write a character like Gojo? What do you do with this? I just find it interesting as a creative. What do you do when you just have the win button at all times? You got to do something with him. And if
I
it's
think
just
you're telling me your original theory was he was gonna be a villain, come back and like mind controlled and everything.
Mhm.
I really thought Kenjaku was going to body swap with him. That was my theory for how they were going to get Gojo out of the good guy side.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting, something like that, especially after introducing the fact that he could do that. I was like, oh, well, then that's what's going to happen. So the fact that it went this long and then, okay, Gojo is out and is like seemingly fine. And then instantly is just like causes an earthquake, shows up and says, you know, you should pick your words more wisely. They're about to be your last. He's ready to fucking kill him. Which is very unlike him, and I love it. But like the last thing that he saw was the implication that Geto, which I think is going to come back later, still, that Geto's body still remembers him. Like that was the last thing he saw before getting sealed. Because Geto's hand was trying to like strangle himself, and then he closed off. So very like cool seeing him just like instantly try to fucking kill him. And then Sukuna shows up immediately, and then I don't know. I'm just gonna come every time Gojo's on the screen. Every time Gojo's on the screen, I say, "Where's Gojo?" And now he's here, and I'm just gonna be a
And now
whimpering
we're
mess.
just going to look at all the Gojo panels.
Yeah,
It's
I'm just gonna be like,
here's when he
wow,
was
yep.
cool again.
Yeah, and
Here's
I'll
when
just
he
be like,
did another
"Hey,
cool thing.
That's a good panel. Gojo's in
That's when he
it."
finally punched that dumb ice person.
Yeah, good.
Like in the manga, I think it was like 2 or 3 years since he got sealed.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Can you imagine going 2 or 3 years without your silver blue-eyed wonder?
My white-haired savior. No, I think I'd die. Look how pretty his eyes are here. Holy shit.
Look at his goofy smile when he's
Look at
talking
his
about the
goofy-
Almighty
Immediately
Sukuna.
jovial.
But yeah, so then they end up going like, "Hey, dog, don't kill us now. What if we do a silly little game?" And they're like, "Teehee, XD. I'm a silly little goober. I'm down with that." And then Gojo's
We'll
like,
call it the Cell Games. Meet in a week or something.
Gojo wants to do it on Christmas Eve. So yeah, all of this shit has been is technically a Christmas episode.
Jujutsu Kaisen holiday specials
They
insane.
choose the day that Geto died, right?
I
think that's the logic.
think.
Yes. He goes into it in a minute.
Yeah, let's say we
Yeah.
do this on December 24th. Having 2 death anniversaries would be confusing. So he's like, "Oh, I wouldn't want
I
Geto
want
to
to kill
die
you
to
again.
die on 2 different days."
Yeah. And there it is.
Boom.
Gotta go back and change it and make sure it says the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the setup for the big moment now. We have every chess piece is on the table. Let's fucking
Something
go.
I've never really noticed is how he colors Gojo's eyes, where he just doesn't limit himself to keeping inside the lines for the 6 eyes.
Yeah, and like I feel like it's not like watercolor necessarily, but like you can see the what are those little dots and shit called?
Yeah, the semitone. There's a bunch of different terms for them. There doesn't seem to be a universal one.
Yeah.
But-
You got like something going on with it. That's like distinct from every other thing because he uses a lot of like sketchy lines throughout a lot of it, which I appreciate. Take care of yourself,
It
Queen.
looks cool.
So now they get to prep for like 2-ish months for the big old final fight.
Yeah.
A little bit over.
They're
a
like,
month. That was,
"Hey,
November 16th. Something.
He's stocking up. He's got all the fingers except for the last one, which they think Gojo probably has.
Mm-hmm.
But they're saying it doesn't matter because they just found his real body. He's going to just eat that
Yeah.
and just recover a lot
just
more energy that
Eat the
way.
rest of me.
Yeah. I forgot that was the that's what that was. Yeah. And then they start all the good guys start assembling their plan. Everybody's practicing.
I love this part with Yuji. If you're paying attention,
Yeah,
Never.
he's trading with who's gonna be important.
who does the simple domains
Oh,
Ooh,
and the master of barriers or whatever the fuck.
yeah, whoever that
be
is.
important.
well, he's just calling Itadori him, but he's Itadori.
What? He's saying
Oh, yeah.
Ozu.
No, look, the panel above
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, I understand this now that it's been explained. But yes, yeah. Why is Itadori calling the black-haired guy Itadori? What?
Oh, I didn't put that together.
Why? I still don't know. What are you talking about?
They're performing switch training. You don't know what switch training is, Kieran?
Is that a mechanic they used earlier and I've forgotten?
No.
Yes.
No, he's playing Osu, damn it.
Yeah, Kieran just saw Osu and forgot about this scene. So.
He was zoned in on that. I was like, man, he put it down for a minute and
Man,
went
yeah,
play
I
the
gotta play some
opening on
Osu real
Osu.
quick.
Yeah, guys, hang on a second. I gotta do a little.
But no, switch training where Itadori is able to kind of get a bit of an advantage in training by, I don't know, taking other people's bodies for a bit and see what
Get a
happens.
mind
Oh
swap?
man, I can. I mean, later it's really explained, but Gojo said earlier, hey, if with Sukuna being inside you, you'll eventually learn his technique. So if we're able to switch bodies with other people, maybe we can pound those techniques into you.
Yeah,
Basically, get other people's muscle memory into your mind.
yeah, that's how
Okay.
that's how
I
Yuji's been able
don't
to
think
use.
I ever pieced that together.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
either.
how
I just
I-
smiled and nodded until Gojo's on
That's
the
how
screen.
he became relevant in this fight.
I
like-
took it as they just trained real hard. The end.
Yeah,
Like,
they
not to get too
trained
far
the
ahead
end.
of things, but the reason Yuji's been able to use curse techniques in this last fight is because of that switch training.
They still
Well, that
haven't
went
explained what his little
completely over my
gauntlets
head.
are, did they?
No, not at all. But
Okay.
well, actually, go back here. I'm curious if he's already.
I
Well, we don't actually see it at all.
They're not wearing them.
Oh no! Wait, yeah, there it is. He doesn't have a pinky there.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
he doesn't.
It got ripped off. Goro ate it.
I wonder if he's got a pinky with those gloves. I haven't really.
I
paid
didn't
attention
look.
to that.
But yeah, a bunch of shit happens.
So they're
That's how I
doing
would
just a bunch of
describe
training.
that.
Like, well, they really skim over it for this, and then just do a bunch of flashbacks to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because they do that whole thing too. And And they all talk about how, okay,
They
well,
all start placing their bets on who's gonna win.
yeah. If Gojo loses, the rest of Jujutsu High's main fighting force, including Akotsu, will be busy with you two today. Their only chance to defeat Sukuna would be immediately after he has fought Gojo, which will leave me to do as I please. Bye. And then, good luck. Don't die.
It's weird for us to be wishing Gojo luck. He's never needed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, now this is the big prep. Everybody's been training. Gojo's been training. He looks dead from everything. Sensei, your curse technique's in the way. And then he does a little, oh my God, look at him. He's so good. He's so good.
So chipper.
Yeah. Everybody's
Oh,
patting
yeah,
him on
kicks
his
his
ass.
ass.
Turn off your
fine.
infinity
No way
for a
he
second.
would.
We want to hit you.
Yeah. But yeah. Kick his ass, Gojo. I was so hyped up for all this. This is hang on.
Real quick, I have a thing for this.
Oh yeah.
Before we start the fight, there's a fun little thing that they did to promote this in
Okay.
IRL. They put out 2 different newspaper ads. One siding with Gojo, one advertising Gojo, one advertising Sukuna.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cute.
that's cool.
That's fun.
Like getting people hyped up for a prize fight.
Yeah. But it was in they took out one in competing company and one in another.
Yeah, so these are competing newspapers. So they took out one ad and
That's cool.
That's cute.
Inhuman
Makio Shinjuku Showdown Part
1.
1.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to note that. That's all.
Yeah.
This is just where it begins.
This is the first part.
At this point, I was like thinking that like this is it, and Gojo's gonna win. I like in my mind, I was like, we've been building up Gojo so much that we're going to kick this fight off, and it's gonna be nothing. Gojo's just gonna stomp him, and like real problem is gonna be something we haven't been paying attention to.
And he is.
I feel like at this point, from where my head was at, I was still convinced that Gojo is too much of a narrative force of nature. He is a toxic asset to a story. Like, you can't have him and tell a story. So I knew that he was either going to lose or something would happen to render him not himself. Whether he would get mind controlled, he'd get possessed, he'd get, I don't know, just something would happen. Imprisoned again or something, or whatever the fuck. But like, and getting imprisoned again seemed kind of lame. So in my mind, like, I'm sitting here and I'm rooting for him the entire time, but in the back of my head, I'm like, but there's no way he can win. What do you do after that? Like, you just can't have
story
him
structure
win.
doesn't allow for him to win because the main character Yuji needs to play a big part. It can't be just Gojo's going to start the fight. If he ends the fight, then no other character is going to have anything to do. It just doesn't work that way.
And like, I try when I'm reading shit like this to not let that shit get in my head. So like, even when I'm reading this, like, that's in the back of my mind. But
I never would have predicted how it would have happened because I turn off that part of my brain, and I am grateful that I can do that.
I can do the same thing, but it just throughout so much of Jujutsu Kaisen, like that's just been a core reason why I wanted to check it out, is because of him. I wanted to know, what are you going to do with this character? And so I can't help but go like, is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? Like, no, you can't do this because like Yuji has to do something. You can't beat the fucking demon. He stole Yuji's friend. Yuji's got to be the one to save his friend. But like, but at this point, I really, really wanted to be in Grant's camp, where it was like, he's going to beat Sukuna and then something else is going to happen. Like, okay, because Kenjaku's still the big bad. So Gojo can kill Sukuna because really we just need to kill Kenjaku. He's the actual bad guy.
I think at some point during this fight, I came to the conclusion, no, Sukuna is definitely the big bad here. He like Kenjaku, I don't know, has always kind of weirdly felt like a bit of a background element. Like, his reveal was a bit too late in the story. The fact that he is just taking the place of another body of a character we've already known makes him feel like doesn't feel like his own character. It's not strong enough of an identity. Like, there's just a lot to Kenjaku that doesn't make him feel like a very satisfying final fight.
But I would agree with everything with that, unless Sukuna beat incapacitated Gojo to let Kenjaku take his body. And then, surprise, Yuji, you have to fight Gojo, which flashes back to the very beginning of episode 1, where he's like, I'm going to have to kill you. And then I would be like, yeah,
like that would be fine, I guess. But like, I mean, as far as
I mean,
like
they do
personal
kind of do
connection,
that anyway here, where he's like, "Do you remember what I told you when we first met that I'm gonna have to kill you?"
yeah.
oh yeah, that would be good. But yeah, it's just like Kenjaku though. It's just like no, like it's interesting. Like despite being Yuji's like a part of Yuji's ancestry, let's say, because I don't know what to call him. Not connected really with him in any personal way. Like he didn't really affect his life in any major way, unless
Not really, but they still are building him up as like, I think they're doing him in the background to have him be the big bad because he's done all these machinations to orchestrate.
Yeah, I feel like
the
he's
Grand
going
Master.
to be the puppet master guy, where it's just like he might.
And I kind of think like he served his role at the end of by the time we get to the current day. I think he's done.
Let's
He
find
still
out.
has a great moment.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
My favorite moment.
Yeah, it's really good.
So
I love
everyone's-
this little thing where it's like we get the super duper powerful
Yeah.
purple,
Yeah,
Or it's like-
super duper thing.
or sorcery gets super powerful by the chance that they add to it, and then if you add the ritual song to it as well, makes it like
Gotta add all of our
120.
buffs.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah, him going and fucking up the whole headquarters.
Yeah, forgot about that. But yeah, I also like the thing with him going like, "No, I trust you more than anybody. That's why you've got to be the one to do the barrier here." I thought that was cool. Oh yeah, and then Utsuhime does the little dance. And then we've got the principal doing the little song. So like everything that we've been led to believe and makes sorcery better is now being cranked up for this one fucking thing.
Yep.
And which
We got
I
the toughest
appreciate.
guy getting the music and dance buff. Like we are making our number one hitter hit even harder,
This is like Goku showing up to sell games and just starts charging a spirit bomb.
and all of the Namekians fused into him.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this in a way that like I hope it like the Nika music. Like it just blows you away.
Yeah. And then hang on, we got to get spreads on that bad boy. 200% power for Hollow Purple, and I like that. Like immediately we just see a flash of Sukuna's eyes, like, oh shit. Like I like seeing a little bit of marked shock on his face, and then this spread of destruction, whole building exploding, and then we get the explanation of like, oh, thanks to the barrier, he didn't even know this was coming. Just we just hid this nuke and sent it off to your face. And then we get Frogmouth Gojo here. I appreciate Frogmouth.
Have a good frog
Gojo.
mouth.
Why the long face?
Why the wide face?
I got the strongest sorcerer in history versus the strongest sorcerer of today. And then I like Gojo saying, like, just so there's no misunderstanding, let me set you straight. You're the challenger here.
I am the reigning champ. Still,
Yeah.
even though I was trapped for a while.
Is Gojo in any kind of like ritualistic outfit or like a date outfit or a funeral outfit?
This, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I don't know if he's like jabbing at him with his thing at all.
Yeah. I don't know. That would be cool though. And there we go. That's the
Then
start of
they
the
do the
Gojo fight.
And then
It's the
Jujutsu
end.
Kaisen.
And then Jujutsu Kaisen. Done.
I mean, after all this, it really is just a bunch of, I don't know. For me, it was just a bunch of fighting that I could not parse the details of, even though they filled pages and pages with it.
It's
Yeah.
one of those
Just
things
like-
where I kind of like definitely like I was already kind of binging it at this point, but like I was paying attention and stuff, but like this is a fight where I feel like it's kind of realistic for it to just be going so quick you don't really follow.
Yeah.
Because it is the two pinnacles
like
of
stuff
man.
like this that we're scrolling through. I like it's just like a whole bunch of just like
Mhm.
choreography and booms and bangs, and you don't get the benefit of understanding what's happening between them. But there's a lot of crazy stuff happening around them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just mean later, and by that I mean like a couple chapters later if we want to keep going.
Yeah, you can just keep talking about general
yeah.
things. I'm just going to be slowly like going through
Yeah,
these.
so they're watching on a bunch of monitors, and this is actually the page I clipped out because I was going to share it in case we didn't see it. But it's just like,
do you...
okay, at this page, this 2-page spread and the next 2-page spread is just wall to wall. This is what's happening in the fight. Here's what could happen in the fight. and I did not understand any of it. And this isn't the first time, this isn't the last time this happens, where it's just wall to wall. This is what's happening. Why is this happening? When's this going to happen? All this stuff. And I'm just like, why do you dedicate so much page time to this stuff I don't understand?
Because they set up all these rules already, and they have to like nullify them so like it's relevant for fighting.
I think because, all right, so Ben, let me tell you something. There are people out there, not me, who find who think that every intricate, nuanced detail of this rule system is really fucking cool, and they like the fact that you could logically explain in bare terms. Here's exactly the A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, cross T's, dot I's of why and how this fight exactly happened, because Gege's intimate, intricate outliner. Every little thing has to have some explanation. It can't just be because Gojo's cool. It has to be because of all of this.
I love Hunter x Hunter for this exact reason, but it's just the fact that it's like these rules aren't comprehensible. Like, I can't like follow them. They're not like rules to a board game where it's just like it's trying to let you understand. It really feels like he's tossing together all these terms just to make it sound complex.
I think these
That's
are
what it seems like to me.
Defined, but I think because you didn't understand shit like simple domain and read the official translation, it probably made it even harder.
Like, that is certainly a possibility. So if I'm wrong, I'll say it's fine and I'll chalk it up to that. But man, I did not understand any of this, and it really did feel like he's just going back to back to back with pages just to. I just couldn't quite understand what the point of it was if it wasn't to make me understand, because it was just so complicated. I don't think you need to.
I think this is just a longer-winded version of the Dragon Ball. They're moving so fast I can't see them. Like, that's all this is.
I think the big takeaway from this was Gojo did some like domain amplification thing, and Sukuna was able to copy it after seeing it one time. I think it's like the big takeaway from all them talking back and forth.
However, Ben, I think this part, I'm completely with you. I don't give a shit about any of this. I don't fucking care one bit. And I don't think that, I don't think that detracts from it necessarily. But I think this is for a certain person, and it's not me. And I'm just like, oh, whatever. I don't really care. I just want to see Gojo fucking.
I keep saying Hunter x Hunter as if that's my excuse, but if you see some of the stuff they put together there, and I'm just like, I eat that up as well. So I was just like, it was just weird to me that I couldn't do that for this, because I didn't understand the concepts enough. I feel like that was just kind of like not explained to me in simple enough terms for me to build off them.
Let me put this another way. Because you binged this, right, this whole part, you don't have the experience that everybody else has had who loves this shit, where they're watching YouTubers break it down like you're 5, and they're like in the goop with the fans, and the fans are talking about, oh, this little mechanic, because like this is how the fans talk. This is how like people that like this talk about this shit in like this community, at least that I've seen.
I 100% get that. Like, I'm wondering, like, because now you've got me thinking, like, analytically, like, what's the difference between these two? And I do think, like, well, Hunter x Hunter did have a phase where they dedicated an entire arc to, in detail, explaining each and every one of, like, the 6 major elements that built up this system of Nen that he was going to be working with from now on. And I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen necessarily had a similar thing.
They kind of just introduced rules as they went. Oh no, this is just how it works now.
It was a tell don't show on Jujutsu Kaisen's part, I think. They explained the rules, but they never made an opportunity to explain each of their elements through an example.
Yes, I completely agree with you. I don't think that there was ever a significant enough onboarding process with like, hey, here's exactly how this works. And even if there was a silly little diagram, that's not how people learn things. You don't show them a flashcard once and then just move on with anything. But also, it's hard to make a story and not feel like you're just constantly revisiting the well of exposition. Like every time, like it is hard to introduce super nuanced RPG mechanics and not feel like you're bogging everything down. And like, so here you're like, well, this is bogging everything down. This is just a wall of shit I don't even care about. I don't even know. And I don't think you need to get the to get it. Like I think you're
so
fine.
like for another quick example, it's like, okay, I remember Gojo's infinity technique. Nothing can touch him, because there was one fight with Jogo, the lava guy.
Yeah.
That was dedicated to showing that off.
Yes. That's a good example. It was a working moment.
And then with Hollow Purple, the red and the blue things coming together, they just explained those. They didn't show Gojo using red with the fight. They didn't show him using blue with the fight. They just showed him using Hollow Purple and explaining what red and blue and all that meant.
Then you get the narrator going, oh, but you see, this is why Gojo is so cool, because this and this and this and this. And it's like, it's it's like the worst kind of, hey, isn't this interesting? Don't you think that's cool? But it's like, I don't know what happened, but sure.
It's feeding us concepts without implementing them into the story.
It's concepts without the context, Ben. And we live in the context, and that's what we need. And I think like that's honestly the huge dividing line is there are people who made this their life. There are people who read this week to week, and when you're reading it week to week, and you're talking to fans, and you're watching YouTube videos, and maybe
Gives you a lot to speculate on.
Yeah, maybe you're way more in the goop than we got a chance to be because we're blasting through this shit. Yeah, you're gonna understand it more, and you can go, why don't they fucking get it? It's so obvious. And it's like, no, it's fucking not. They really don't do a good job of explaining these terms. Like, if you are like indulging in this, like, because they don't make this is exactly how that concept works because I have a critical moment with a character I fucking care about doing this XYZ concept and explaining the XYZ ramifications. Like, and if they do, it's just glossed over by like, they just do it and the narrator goes, oh, yes, they did. I'm like, if you just cut out every section with a narrator, I think the show would be just as good if nothing was narrated and you just watch them do things, and I would enjoy it all the same. I don't fucking care. And I feel like if you can get on that wavelength, you can enjoy it in a way that I enjoy it. But I also see what your perspective is, where it's like, clearly they want you to care about this, but I think this is the same people who watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And they don't know how to play the game. Same thing. Like you can still enjoy the parts of it because of the theatrics of it all, even if you don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh!
And I still do. It's just, it then makes me sad when 6 pages mean nothing to me.
When there's a handful of pages all together and it all just feels like nonsense.
And again, it's something that I was prepared to be really into because, again, Hunter x Hunter is just like this, except it's just, I understand that power system back to front because that was such an important part of the build up in Hunter x Hunter.
Tyler's been quiet. Do you disagree with all of us and think we're stupid?
No, I've been playing with my dogs this whole time because I think this is also. I agree with Ben. It's just a waste of pages.
For me,
I think JJK should have just moved on.
As the person I think who maybe has the least solid grasp on the power systems of this series, this set of pages to me was just to show that all of these characters are not on Sukuna and Gojo's levels. Like they are all having to try to decipher what is happening in this fight. Yeah. And that is just to tell me, like, because they are all beneath them. Like that these are all characters who would not stand a chance in this fight. So that when the eventual happens, we're going to have to see how they deal with it if they were in such a fight.
That's how I look at this. And like the same way where like if you look at these pages as a narrative tool and not a role play document sheet, like teaching you how to play a game, if you can look at it that way, I think it's more palatable in like the sense of like, I think it's serving its narrative function with like, I want to see them talking
just
about
inefficiently,
it.
But yes.
I agree with you. Yeah.
This is something that I think you could have maybe gotten away with like 2 panels or something.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you.
And turned a lot of it into like chatter and them just being kind of confused. But I think the truth is Gege also does have all of this planned out, and he's got an intricate rule system that does check out and work. And so this is like kind of him showing his homework for the people who want it. But
I can't wait for us to read Homestuck.
Wait, Kieran, have you seen or read Hunter x Hunter?
No, I haven't.
Man, I feel like I do want that to be part of Ready or Not at some point.
I would like that, but I've never actually read it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I've just mained Killua and Jump Ultimate Stars. That's all I know.
Ben, do you have a problem keeping up with any of the power stuff going on in the recent shit? Because I
don't like that because it suffers from the same thing. In particular, the politics part of it bores me. I don't think any of the characters are compelling enough for the politics to be worth going into detail over. But the power system's still explained very well. I like that.
I thought Sukuna's politics were honestly pretty understandable, but I get where you're coming
He's
from.
from a different time. I feel like people don't understand that. He was
Dude,
raised
1,000 years old!
era was a long time ago.
But okay, so they're watching the fight on these monitors and at least speculating how it's going.
Yes.
Okay,
and
I think that was my last main talking point, so we can keep skimming.
yeah.
I basically the vibe from this I got is like kind of no one's sure who's winning yet, even though they're watching it and they're experts.
Yeah, it's a toss up. It's a coin toss. They have no idea what's gonna happen because there's just so much at play.
I want to mention this part because I think this is also critical to one of the coolest parts that happens later. I asked for water. I don't need the bottle. And then she like splashes it. That's what it's like to open a domain without closing a barrier. Is it possible to hold water without a vessel? Can you paint a picture in the air without a canvas? Do flowers bloom from a seed without root, stem, or leaf? It'd be like running software without hardware. That's impossible. Megumi's unfinished domain didn't shut the barrier. And that part, I think, was like the only part that I think you need to understand. Is like isn't that neat? That's impossible. That's all I need. I just need a character going, you can't do X concept. X concept is impossible. So when character does X concept, I understand, whoa, they're very cool.
Yeah. So I can now be the character in the next panel that goes, he did that, but that's impossible.
Yes, that's all. I like the color commentators just saying exactly the same shonen shit I've heard 50,000 times. I'm always here for it. I love it every time.
Yep.
But yeah, this was the same shit, and then they do their clashing domain expansion at the same time, and then they finally get to see this thing because we didn't see this thing last time, right? This is the first time we see this.
No, we've seen
I
it
think
before.
we saw it whenever he fought Mahoraga.
Yeah,
because he used
you're
domain
right.
to take him down.
Yeah. And then
Malevolent Shrine.
Yeah, they fought with both their domains open. If one takes heavy damage or one of their domains collapses, the other's guaranteed hit will immediately strike. And then, but it's weak against attacks from the outside. And then something happens.
Then something happens,
and then something
they fight
happened,
again, and then something else happens.
And then
Yeah.
Ben, I think we agree.
He attacked his thing from
Listen,
the outside.
it's fun reading moment to moment, but it's just like, what's there to talk about? They keep going back and forth for a while. That's really all that's happening.
Yeah, no.
No, like I think this is just like fun popcorn action point of the series.
Yeah,
now,
this is
where
this is why
it's
I'm
just
here.
like we're just gonna have the wild back and forth between these two, the immovable object, unstoppable force type thing, where it's like everyone believes that neither of these two can be defeated. So what happens when they fight?
Yeah.
And they both have reverse curse techniques, which let them heal, I guess is what
Yeah,
that
they both can heal
means.
each other, but if you heal yourself too much, your brain explodes. You get the bite of 87 if you do it too much.
Yeah, so it's just a balancing act of all their powers right now, and for the next 20 chapters.
You should be able to heal your energy, but Gojo can. He's fucking Gojo.
Yeah, because Gojo can do whatever. He can fuck the unfuckable. He can break the unbreakable. And then I thought this was cool. I like they make the domain, and then the domain is like super tiny. That's a fun wrinkle because I always wondered, like, because that verified what I thought, because I only know I have a scant knowledge of reality marbles as a concept. But in my head, just from the Fate thing, I'm like, reality marbles. So they're like little pocket dimensions. They're little marbles. Because if it's a pocket dimension, it could be anything. And I thought that would like come back later as like maybe somebody is like
dense.
inside a small domain when they're not supposed to be or something, and that could be a fun little thing that happens. And then cool, there we go. And yeah.
Then they explain it for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it busts back open because like, hey, wasn't that a cool visual thing anyway?
Anyways, yeah. Bam. And then if anybody else processed this fight differently, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, it feels like we're all on the same page where we just don't understand the explanations, but the fight's cool.
Yeah, I have no clue what's going on, but Gojo's on the screen, so my dick's hard, and that's all that I care about. This I do understand, though, because I feel like this was explained enough to where I know how Mahoraga works. I get the idea.
Yeah, because they had a whole fight dedicated
They
to
had a whole
showing you how
fight.
it
Yeah.
works.
So once I saw this happen, I was like, oh shit, is
oh,
Gojo
he's
gonna
adapting.
actually die? Like, is this gonna be it? And then we got this combined with that. I'm like, oh fuck, maybe Gojo's gonna die. That could be cool. And then during the 3 minutes till Sukuna destroys the outer shell of Gojo's domain from outside, Gojo has to hurt Sukuna enough that Sukuna can't maintain his domain. Gojo can immobilize Sukuna by bathing him in unlimited void for just a few seconds. If he can destroy Malevolent Shrine in 3 minutes or less, then Gojo wins.
Hooray.
So, yay, maybe Gojo
And that's
isn't
definitely
gonna
going to
die.
happen.
That's definitely gonna happen, Ben. That's right. Unlimited void hits for a second, which I love. I can't wait to see. That's my takeaway from this is I can't wait to see this animated.
Yeah,
Because
it's going to
then
be great animated.
It's gonna be
I will appreciate
fantastic.
that.
All these, I hope droves of animators get crunched to death because I want
I
to see
can't
this.
wait
look so
for
good.
the 12 episode arc of them fighting Sukuna.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
That's
it's
what
unfortunately
a
gonna
season's gonna
happen,
be.
and,
Well,
This will
I
be an
mean, the
animation
thing is,
strike, and
action
this will all be still
action in manga is a lot shorter
It really is. Yeah.
in adaptation.
Yeah, but it's
so,
still been going on for 30 chapters with one character.
yeah, but they could probably adapt like 5 chapters per episode.
People thought
depending.
they couldn't do Shibuya in as many chapters as they did. I feel like they probably could get away with it. A lot of it was like a bunch of fighting shit. But here we go. After Unlimited Void, Mahoraga shows up, and I kind of
Things are
expected that to
spooky.
happen. I don't know if y'all saw that coming.
Yeah, I mean, he had all the other powers. Why not this one?
Yeah.
I had forgotten a lot about.
I mean, he already
about how
used it earlier.
Mahoraga worked at that point, so
Yeah, he used
Yeah,
it against
I wasn't
against
prepared
lady,
for it.
Yeah.
Used against the
evil
bug.
old lady.
And then it adapts to Unlimited Void. No shit.
Oh,
And
no.
that's super bad. Now the King of Curses has the strongest whatever Mahoraga is.
Shikigami. Yeah,
Sure.
why not?
Yeah.
And it has to be used on some, like the tool itself has to be displayed, used on something, and he's using it on Fushiguro's soul specifically.
Yeah. And like throughout all this, I know like we're skimming over a bunch of shit, but like I think the art in this fight is phenomenal. Like there's so many
A lot of
good
this fight looks amazing.
there's
Yeah.
so many good visuals. There's
Gege's
so much fun
paneling
back and
is
forth.
extremely fun.
Yeah. This
Always-
is a fun read. Like I don't know what the fuck's happening, but I don't care because it is fun. And that is like, I think more important to me. Like I'm having a good time regardless of if I couldn't even tell you how or why anything's happening.
Yeah.
I've thought it a little bit, but in this shot, really, we were talking about Hunter x Hunter earlier. I think Sukuna really looks like Hisoka right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Yeah,
Listen,
that.
I think Gege is a huge fan of Tagashi, both Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. Like domains and especially the Culling game domains are 100% territories from Yu Yu Hakusho. That also came from JoJo's, but the territory aspect, the fact that you're in control within a certain space is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Mhm.
And so that's what became domains, it looks like.
And curse techniques are very Nen.
Yeah, especially with the fact that it's like Nen contracts are the exact same as
A binding vow.
Binding vows, yeah. So he's a huge fan of Tagashi, I can tell.
Got tired of waiting.
Yeah.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah, and then this part here, I did enjoy this moment where he's like, okay, turn, I'm gonna kill you. Domain expansion, tries to do everything. Everybody's like, oh shit, and then the amount of time that Unlimited Void struck Sukuna totaled less than 10 seconds. Nonetheless, just like Gojo, he took enough damage to his brain that opening a domain was impossible. It's like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
They were fighting so fast and so strong, their bodies can't keep up. Is
Yeah.
basically
And this
what-
was like right after he just explained to him that like, oh, reverse curse technique fucks up your frontal lobe, Freddy Fazbear, and then you can't
Don't
do
ever
that.
use it.
And then whoops, I
Like
also
me.
yeah, just like me. I thought
I
that
tickled
was
your
fun.
frontal lobe, Sukuna. Haha.
Yeah, and then of course Gojo being a shitheel the whole time. My students are watching, so help me look even cooler, okay? Ultimate strength and the solitude it brings. I'm the one who will teach you about love. Bam, like punch each other. It's cool. Yeah, and more commentary. Everybody's talking. Wow.
Everyone's excited about the fight. I get it.
Yeah, and
Wait, why
I
is
love
Nanami
this
brought
one.
up there? I can't remember. Oh, it's just okay. I was like, hey, I haven't
Just
seen that guy.
remember-
He's been dead for a minute.
Just remember,
Yeah, does he have
Gojo, he's
anything
really
cool
strong.
to say? No, he just
He's-
says, Gojo's really cool. Isn't Gojo fucking rad? and then I'm here going, yes. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Jingle the keys. I just want to see
Important,
Gojo.
important scene. Yes.
And then we get to see Gojo dragging him throughout everything. Now he's finally getting his moment to shine because Sukuna's weakened enough. He can't do his fucking shit ass domain. So then Gojo's getting to do all his cool shit, which is like, I don't know. I think it's kind of also a bummer to me is like, I don't like that Sukuna's domain is just, I just cut you a billion times. I thought it would be cooler.
Yeah.
Because like Gojo's is so unique and you see it so early that I really thought the big bad would have something like Gojo's.
But nah, it's kind of like a fun, like, you know, we've got the new, young, overcomplicated, and we got the old, tried and true symbol.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just, you know, it's
Oh.
like the classic is over here. I just brought a sword that cuts you real hard. I don't care about your infinity magic.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, if you spin
Yeah,
it that
back
way,
in
you
my day, sorcery was easy. You would either just cut someone, your hair was just a cannon, you grab the sky, maybe
Like,
check
I
out a
kind of
fucking
had
bug.
thought about it. but
What's
like
this guy?
that-
He's got fucking infinite shit.
yeah.
Blue versus green makes indigo. What the fuck's
What
going
the
on?
fuck?
I'm
Fuck
just
that
gonna
bullshit.
cut him harder.
I'm so old I didn't even see blue, like the Romans or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know
They
what
hadn't
this
made it
is.
up
I wasn't
yet.
a caller until 16 years after I died.
Yeah, that's a good way to. I don't know if that's
Remember
intentional.
when
at
manga
all,
was
but I
good
like-
and power levels were all you needed to
Yeah.
know?
No, this is before power levels. This is some Fist of the North Star shit where you just punch a guy 500
They
times and
kind
then
of
they
go
die.
into it later where it's like, oh, this technique is like a modern version of my technique.
Yes, yeah. I didn't even think about that angle. That's a good read on it. I like that, Grant.
I hadn't really thought about it, but as you were discussing it, I was like, wait a minute.
You just said
Yeah.
something and it turned out to be really
I see
profound.
a parallel
Yeah,
here.
he's he in the middle of taking the test. He puts the essay together.
Yeah.
Anyways, I like Gojo just constantly being a shithead. It just makes me happy every time he does anything fun. Just like because he's just having fun. Like I like the super powerful character being the jokester. Him and Kenjaku are like cut from the same cloth in that way that I appreciate.
They're all the Joker.
They're all the Joker, and really, we live in a society when you think about it. And I think we're getting close to
To the
Kind
event.
of.
to the thing. I know like two more things happen, and then it happens.
Is he sending out a bunch of purples or these a bunch of blues? I can't remember.
I don't
I
know.
don't know
Why
how
don't
they
you-
distinguish
wanna-
them.
Hey,
Kinda
you want
just
to color
gray.
pick this one and tell me
Yeah.
which one that is?
Oh shit, no, you're right. That's red.
Yeah.
We were all wrong.
It's like, wow, they're doing things.
They're doing things. The third spin, only one to go. Oh yeah, and they're trying to figure out like because like Mahoraga had a fight. Like you know the idea that Mahoraga is the Lamau. I can figure you out and then break it.
And then beat you.
And this is them going like, is it over time? Is it the number of times that it get hits? Like, how does it level up? Is it
The
leveling
wiki
up
wasn't
over-
really defined. It doesn't have all the notes on there.
Yeah. I could follow this because we had a good fight with it. Yeah, and then he's kind of figuring it out that if he just does a bunch of shit, overwhelms him with stuff that he can't adapt in time. And then that he sent out of the reds, and then red didn't explode. Whoa, he circled it around the building. Here's a little diagram to show you how cool Gojo is.
Look how cool this circle is.
Evidence
Whoop
letter J.
And then
Gojo remains cool.
And then he Kokusen, he black flashes him, which is
Whoa.
Ben.
Which is
What's a black flash?
a black flash.
It's when a physical attack and a cursed energy strike within like a millisecond of each other to amplify the effect of both. Something like that. I don't know.
I think you're actually right. I thought you would.
Pretty sure it's a frame perfect.
Yeah, it's like a frame
Yeah.
perfect technique, but it's just like one after the another, and it's just like doubles the impact.
But like for some reason you can't decide when you're doing it. It just happens.
Well, it's just like apparently it's just like affected by like hundreds of different factors, and you have to be
It could
aware
be
of
the
all of
weather
Air
them or just get
resistance on
lucky.
your hand.
Is your ball stuck to your leg?
I'm
yeah, if it's-
imagining that
If it's all
Gege's
frame perfect, like frame meaning like a millionth of a second, then it's like, yeah, air currents and temperature and all that stuff will play a factor into it. So
I'm
it's like,
imagining Gege saw Evil Moment 37 and was like, no normal person could
What if I
parry
had a
Chun-Li
whole
super
series about
and
that?
do all this shit. Okay, so then clearly Daigo just parried all of that was a fluke. So we're just gonna make Black Flash random, because if you could just have a person who frame perfect parries everything, that'd be too good.
yeah.
Well, with how things kind of go as this progresses, I think that is showing that like it's like it's just so difficult that no one has made it consistent. But like you
Yeah,
can
you
get
can't
better
make it
at
consistent.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can learn how to parry. I think Gege just tried to learn how to parry in Third Strike and was like, nobody can do this. It's
Yeah,
fucking random.
it can't be done.
Just no human
And
can do
I
this.
think
There
I
are
think
some people who
Yuji's
are
like
so
the
good
reason
they get
Yuji can
lucky more
use it
often.
a bit more frequently than most would expect, most are capable of.
Because he's a genetic freak.
Is kind of just because he feels it. He gets a gut instinct for it. Is my take on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just like I just feel like this is when the Black Flash will happen, and then it happens, and I'm just like, okay, I've got a gut instinct for this stuff. I know how it works.
And then he does a Black Flash. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it makes you strong because it's cool. And here we go. Mahoraga is gonna start fucking shit up, along with everybody's like, oh shit, Gojo could like die here.
Gojo's killing Toji and doing all this stuff, and he's
Did y'all notice that he's also dressed up as Toji?
That's just his outfit, isn't it? Oh no, he didn't have those pants.
I go back a couple pages for where we're looking at. Yeah, because we see a flashback of Toji right there, and he's wearing the black skin tight shirt. And
I didn't even notice that.
This
Baggy
is
white
what the
pants.
powerful wear.
Tribute to the one dude who bested him.
Or maybe
Yeah.
it's just easy to draw and looks good in a black and white format.
Meaning.
Nah, Ben, what do you mean? These little things right here? What? Nah.
I think I saw a meme
Those
where it was
little
like 7 different
lines.
characters dressed the same. Like Killua also wears this same outfit.
Yeah. Listen, it looks like very breezy and easy to move in, and it's just like, okay, well, looks nice.
Oh yeah, and then Sukuna fires piercing blood, which I appreciate. I like when I like a Cell type villain. I like the villain who like has all the heroes' powers.
Hey, remember how to deal with this one?
I like when Mega
Yeah.
Man's a villain. That makes me happy. Yeah, and so then we have Gojo stuck in this little building here, and then now Sukuna starts bringing out the Fushiguro stuff. So like we've seen him using a lot of his Sukuna shit, and now he's starting to use everybody else's stuff, which I appreciate. It's a good wrinkle. You look like a
Yeah,
lost alien.
This isn't the one monster I can make. I can make two big. I can
Yeah,
make a
and-
mama and a papa.
And
Yeah,
the
and
one
he
on the left
fuses,
is like a
all
fusion
their
between
beasts.
the other
Yeah,
ones,
this is
right?
like a bunch of Fushiguros like monsters all
So it's
together.
Mahoraga and then a fusion of everyone else and
Yeah.
Sukuna against Gojo.
Yeah. And this is like, especially this chapter, because they opened up with like, oh shit, Gojo might lose. And at this point in the fight, like, I was thinking, like, I think Gojo's gonna figure something out here. Like, Gojo is still gonna
kinda
win.
does. Sorry. I want to interrupt you quickly because
Yes.
speaking of that last page where it's all three of them saying, and Sukuna says it's 3 against 1. I remember a tweet when there's like these threads of like, look at here's a thread of all these different animes that had really cool stuff happening. One of the threads I saw was really cool a thread of one-on-one fights, and this was the first image they used where he's saying it's 3 against 1.
Best one-on-one fights. Sukuna versus Gojo. 3-on-1. Yeah.
That's it. That was just
if you
one
did-
tweet I saw.
Yeah, you only won because I didn't adapt to the lag because you had to change the controller. 'Cause you had your friend show
whatever.
up.
Sukuna plays a freaking summoner character. This is bullshit.
Whatever. And yeah, getting overwhelmed by all this shit. Yeah. Then I keep saying then as if
Then
like
the fight keeps going.
Then
And
the fight keeps going.
continues.
Yeah, then the fight continues.
Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for the
yeah,
just
for
to
the
get
thing
to the
because
end
I
of
think
it.
we're gonna
and
say
then,
the same. I think we're gonna say the same shit. So then yeah, we get Mahoraga finally cuts Gojo here. This was like this is a big moment because he's still been
Yeah.
maintaining
or
his
maybe
shit the
not
whole
because
time.
his reverse curse technique can heal it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he still gets cut.
His little arm gets cut, and it's like, oh shit, can I reverse curse technique my whole fucking arm back?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. He's fucking Gojo.
If anyone can.
Yeah, and then 41 seconds from I love when the narrator does this though. This is like the Kaiji narrator shit that like I eat up. Like when they do this because Kagurabachi is doing this too.
Yeah.
Gojo! 41 seconds from now, for the second time, Satoru Gojo's hollow purple will cut through Shinjuku. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's fucking go, dude.
Countdown to another
I love
big
the narrator
attack.
when it's just in very simple terms like that, where it's just like to hype you up. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm all
Narrator's a crutch in a lot of other ways, but but for this stuff, it's good.
We need less of characters speculating on how the fight is going, more of the narrator telling us how the fight's going.
No,
Yeah.
just to hype up
Got
what we
Writing
already are seeing.
101.
Oh my god!
Understood. Tell,
Exactly.
don't show.
Yeah, just tell them what's gonna happen so that they're ready for it. And then yes, haha, he can bring his arm back.
Yep, there he goes.
Yeah, they see you can do anything with the first curse technique shit. And then he does whatever this is.
Phase Parmesan, yeah.
Parma, pillar of light, the occurrence of cursed energy. It is when it wells forth from the sorcerer immediately before the activated curse technique.
Yeah, it does all that stuff.
It does all this stuff, and then
yeah, it does cool stuff. Got it.
I don't know what he's even doing. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, he's about to buy a spirit gun, something. Yeah,
He fires his spirit gun, and then he shot. Oh yeah, because he like shot this up. Gojo released red, but just past it was Azure, which like popped the fusion thing, right?
Which I don't know if they called blue lapis earlier, or a technique he used earlier. So I don't know what the difference between azure, lapis, blue, or any of this is.
Maybe you can
different
just
shades
credit
of
our
the same
friend
move.
John Weary here. Maybe our friend was just like,
I'm just
"It's
gonna
not
believe Gojo's cool and his fat cock's winning.
Yeah, well, you know that blue can also be translated as azure, and it can also be I just got tired of typing blue the whole time.
You know, azure, the sky of the wind
Yeah,
is attacking.
Blue's just too simple for how
I
cool
don't know, to give him a
Gojo
bit of credit.
is.
It could be something different that we just don't. It is just explained in all these boxes that nobody's going to read.
Yeah,
These ones are more important because they have a black background. You don't understand.
Yeah, it's got some black swirling in there.
That's how you know it's a flashback.
Yeah.
And then phase Twilight, which he's never said before, I think.
Yeah, that's a new thing he said.
It's a new thing. And then the little hooky is going into this little thing. And then now we start getting the whole chant here. But he couldn't have done this if I had been around to hold him back. Hollow purple.
Kaboomy.
Kaboomy! And then you see Mahoraga's little Buddha wheel get
knocked his
blasted
hat
away.
off.
His little hat, yeah. Great.
Is that
great
what it is?
payoff.
A Buddha wheel? I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, it's this is a Buddhist symbol. Like Mahoraga is definitely based on like a bunch of
Yeah, it's definitely meant to be like the phases of life and death and all that stuff.
yeah, it's 8 fucking whatever thing. Like anytime the number 8 is used in a manga, it's almost a Buddhist reference. But yeah, his little wheel is a thing too. I don't remember exactly what it is, but he also has like when he first was summoned, he has the hand thing, the Arimon, I think it's called, like the thunder bringer thing that they say like the gods use, whatever. It's like a divine instrument, whatever the fuck. Anyways, whatever. Yeah, Buddhist.
Yeah.
And then
this time Sukuna lost a hand. Wow, that's neat.
yeah, and he can't get that back because he only has 2 hands.
Maybe.
He's gonna need that hand later.
Yeah. Gojo won!
Yay!
Anyways,
Yeah,
guys,
zoom
we've
in
been
on
going
that.
for 2.5 hours, so I just
Gojo
think
wins.
I really think that we should just call it here. Gojo won, and then we can just
That
come
was
back.
the
to
end. That was the end of Jujutsu
No.
Kaisen.
We just got to skim harder, guys. Nothing else important happens, I'm sure.
That's right. If we
Gojo
just go
already won.
really quickly, I think nothing happens. Son of a bitch. Okay, this one. Okay, so yeah. All right, so I think I want to spend like half an hour here.
The first real chapter.
Yeah, so finally we get a real chapter. We get this thing with like this. As soon as I saw this, I knew what was coming.
Yeah. And the second this happened, I was like, oh, he lost.
Yeah.
Like, he's dead.
Yeah,
This
let's
is the
give this character
afterlife.
a moment of like finality and catharsis right before he wins and everyone's happy.
Yeah, because if there's anything about Jujutsu Kaisen, it's that the character has something good happen to them before they win. But yeah, this whole dialogue is I loved this scene because like I've said it before, I'm here for the characters. That's all I fucking give a shit about, and this is some character shit here. I like it when it's like when it's your time to die, you die alone. Please tell me this is just my imagination. Just like, just like, oh shit. Then there's the matter of his dad. ... He's like, oh, well, Shogo's going to handle that later. How was the King of Curses? So I'm hyperventilating already. I'm just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's talking with the dead guy, and the dead guy's saying, hey, how'd your fight go?
Yeah, it passed tense, huh? Son of a bitch. I'm not sure if I could have beaten him, even if I didn't have Megumi's 10 shadows. Whoa, he's so strong he made you admit that? I do feel a bit sorry for him, though. I can empathize with the sheer magnitude of his sheer solitude more than anyone else.
I'm a lonely, strong guy, and I got
Yeah.
a feeling if he's that strong, he's probably even more lonely than me.
I love everyone and don't feel
I'm the
lonely now.
loneliest because I'm Satoru Gojo.
Because I'm Gojo. Somewhere along the way, there was a line I drew, not as a human, but as a living creature. You can make a flower bloom and you can admire it, but you can't tell that flower, I want you to understand. The skills I drew, I'm just going to read like some of this shit because I really...
Go ahead.
The skills I drilled into this tempered body of mine, my refined senses, even my haphazard tactics and explosive power, I gave it my all. I wanted to convey everything to Sukuna. I wanted him to know the absolute strongest, the loneliness that follows, the one who will teach you about love is... It was fun. But Sukuna wasn't able to give it his all, and for that, I'm sorry. You're making me jealous, but then if you're satisfied, that's all right. Satisfied. If you're among those patting my back, then I might have been satisfied, because he wishes his bro was there.
But my bro wasn't even alive to see this cool fight.
Yeah, and then just a bunch of we get to see everybody else.
And here's some other people who are dead.
Here's
in
everybody
case it
else.
wasn't
Here's
clear
your
yet.
autonomy.
Yeah, look, and then great. I always love these faces that he does for him. And
These
then
aren't black bars. This isn't a flashback. Get scared.
Yeah, right. I'm like, is this? Because all right, let me tell you my thought process. Right, if this wasn't because the train station is so obvious metaphor for you dying or whatever, right?
Yep.
Which will maybe be important later.
Huh?
And then I was like, okay, well, maybe this is like some secondary domain or something, because if Geto can use, listen to the copium I'm on, right? So
It's gotta be an answer.
You had.
if
Just go on.
Kenjaku can do 2 domain expansions because he has another body, then a possessed archetype like Sukuna inside Fushiguro, we never saw Fushigoro's completed domain necessarily. He never actually did the finished one. So I was like, maybe this is like a weird little spin, or maybe this is like a double super duper domain. Maybe Mahoraga can do a domain. Maybe this is a super duper adaptation. This is your mind is fucked because I'm unlimited voiding you, and I made you see your death or something. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's exactly what's happening.
I'm sure that's what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. Shut up. All right. Let me have this. Yeah. We get just some nice little imagery here. I like all the chill moments and stuff. And then everybody going hey, yeah, we're all kind of happy that we moved on. And then the president's here. Wasn't there supposed to be such a thing as a sorcerer dying without any regrets? Everybody's happy. Look how happy they all are. And they're going to stay happy.
Everything's
Oh, the girl
okay.
who got shot in the fucking brains
Yeah,
there.
the girl got shot in the brain.
Is that Toji in the back? Who the fuck?
Choji?
Toji.
Oh, is that? I don't think so. It might
Zoom in.
No, that was-
Clarify.
be. Right there.
No, that's the head of the Jujutsu guy. I don't remember his name.
Huh?
For the previous page, Gojo's talking to the principal. What's
the Panda's dad? President man?
No.
President Man.
Yeah.
And that's
Mr.
who you were seeing in the
Are
background.
you saying Toji's alive?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, he got resurrected.
Yeah, you know who he didn't see? The girl, the one girl. She's still alive. Bam.
Exactly!
Exactly.
No,
Okay.
she's already on the plane.
Yeah. She's already on the plane to the
The
island.
girl who's
Can
so
we
important to
talk
the
about
story,
Lost?
whose name I never remember.
Yeah, this
See,
is
this is-
frighteningly similar to Lost. So let's
Yeah, the Jujutsu Kaisen to Lost parallels. You never thought you needed.
Anyway,
if you like this
Geto,
scene,
what
you'll
flight
like the
number
ending
do
to
we have?
Lost. Don't believe the masses.
A weird ghetto. We're on flight 815. And then and then we just skip a couple pages, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Wow, and everything was fine.
Oh.
We got a happy flight, and for some reason Gojo cannot fight anymore.
They go just like, you were strong, Sukuna. I'm gonna leave now.
You were. Yeah, bye.
Bye. Anyway, I'm going to step aside for a second. Gohan has to fight Yusel.
Yeah. But no, we get this. And I was like, okay, well, hold on. I'm like, because I sat on this page for a second. I'm like, okay, well, maybe he could like heal
reverse
himself.
curse techniques.
Yeah,
that's him going, I gotta fight for them.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking, Grant. I'm just like, all right, well, this is his like fucking his comeback moment, right? Ben, I'm sure, I don't know if you had a moment to talk about this, because you mentioned like earlier on, you were like, oh, Kieran's gonna hate that Ben doesn't like this the Gojo Sukuna fight. Do you have anything to say about all of this text that we've been exposited?
All of this stuff, it kind of makes sense because it's just describing how this slash would interact with Gojo's infinity, so I could at least understand it in part.
This is the super slash.
Because I still, okay, guys, I'm stupid. Can you explain this to me like I'm 5, how this happened?
How you win?
Because I still don't get it.
I might be wrong about this. My interpretation of it was this. Okay, there's an infinity between, the 0 and 1 of the distance between a cut and Gojo.
Yes. But
Sukuna, wriggled time and space or whatever, I don't care. And just said, okay, this cut will go on. Have you ever heard that there's different types of infinities? I mean, there obviously is.
Yeah, there are. I know about all this shit, yeah.
So my thought was like, okay, this cut slashes through the world, meaning it slashes through everything. Like,
then why didn't you say like the universe?
A bigger infinity.
Why did you say the world?
I don't know, because it's a bad translation. I really don't.
Yeah, even the other ones say that.
I really don't know.
The translation I read said world cutter.
Yeah,
or like world slash.
Yeah, everything has said world, and so
like the reality of this world as a whole, not like planet, but just the reality.
Oh, this world line, like Kingdom Hearts. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Like when they say heart.
That really was my impression. It was just like this throughout the entirety of this reality, a cut intersects it. And so that goes through an infinity because it's everywhere. This cut is literally everywhere.
And that's how Gojo's going to come back, because the dimension has been cut. The barrier between the living and the dead is now got a big hole in it. All of our dead friends are going to come back and defeat Sukuna, but the problem is now that there's no real place for dead people to go, he'll just also get to come back. So we've created a never-ending problem.
Okay, yeah, Gojo's dead. So when is he coming back?
Let me just like read this for like 2 seconds, because I'm just trying to remember like what this is saying. So okay, yeah.
Sure.
Mahoraga gets hit. After it gets hit, like the first time it gets hit, it starts adapting after a time limit. So that's established now, if that wasn't before. If it receives additional attacks, it goes faster. Blah, 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 blah. The analysis doesn't stop. Adaptation continues. I wanted a model for me to breach through your inviolability. The first time Mahoraga adapted, it transmuted its own cursed energy in order to neutralize and nullify it. Sure. The second one was meant to be a slash like the ones I launched. That was the extension of targets. The target was not Gojo. It extended all the way to space, existent, and the world themselves. Just cut them.
So he wasn't targeting Gojo. He was targeting everything in the entire world, universe, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. He's
anything in that space.
Sure. Is that where Unlimited Void is?
Everything in a universe in front of me.
Well, the unlimited, like Gojo's unlimited stuff is between 0 and 1, but if you're cutting all the way from 0 to infinity, that includes the infinity between 0 and 1. That makes sense?
Okay.
He cut infinity plus 1, Kieran. He did.
He nullified infinity to cut through it.
I tried to describe it with, you know how there's an infinity between 0 and 1? There's a bigger infinity of all the numbers between 0 and infinity as whole numbers.
Without regard for your inviolability, as long as it exists inside that space, that world. It's like, I don't think it was ever, because I thought domains were non-Euclidean. I thought they were in another dimension. I thought we established this.
Real quick,
we're doing it in a domain.
I like in the chat, we have Parasite Syndrome going. The way I understand it is Sukuna is cutting Gojo conceptually insteed of physically. While we're looking at
words.
While we're looking at a panel of him physically being cut in half. It's like you cut him so hard, the idea of Gojo so hard that his body fell apart.
I like my explanation better. But
I agree with Echo Seraphim. Why couldn't Gojo heal his two? Like, I just, okay.
Yeah, what's stopping him?
You still got your brain
Come on,
intact?
tough guy.
Come on. Let's go. Start shitting out another torso. Let's go. It was incredibly difficult technique to like, I don't get this. And I still don't get it. And this is why I think I'm still
cut
unsatisfied.
him harder.
I don't get it either, but at least I can make a fun headcanon with Vsauce explanations.
Yeah, and like I understand your Vsauce explanation more than theirs, but even that, like, so
Yeah,
when I tell you
the explanation
Spicy
isn't
Bobby.
satisfying. I agree. I do genuinely agree with you, and that's because I think all the explanations in this fight are unsatisfying.
Spicy Bobby with the perfect response. He cut him because Sukuna is cool.
Gojo is way cooler.
Gojo did all of this stuff because Gojo is cool. Sukuna did this because Sukuna also cool.
Okay. The thing, like, I think this is like, at the end of it, I think, let me like, we can wrap up the whole fight here because this is just a couple pages left. Yeah. I think this panel is fantastic.
Yeah, I love that.
This panel is so good. You are magnificent, Satoru Gojo. I shall never forget you for as long as I live. Like, this panel is so is phenomenal. Great face, good dialogue, and then, like, you know, marked by you seeing here Gojo like is slightly smiling. And I love that. I think this is still a good finish ultimately, even though I still don't understand it. So I'm a little dissatisfied because I don't fucking get it. Because this is what I meant by the is there anything? Oh yeah, and then lightning person shows up, whatever. The earlier, like, when they do a bunch of exposition and shit, I don't think it really matters as long as the fight is going on. They're just doing a bunch of shit and whatever. But when I don't understand your answer for, no, the coolest guy ever who can't be touched magically got Omega touched, I think that's a narrative issue. I think you should.
That was my problem throughout the entire fight. Yeah, I agree. Because
I feel like the stakes were set pretty reasonably. Like, no, Omega guy just can't be touched. And if you were just like, I have I don't know, I have an object that if I hit you with it can nullify you. Like, if it was in simpler terms, I think I maybe would have been happier with it. But because you're doing this whole thing about, like, no, I did his adaptation and I cut infinity. What does that even mean? Is Infinite Void in this? This was never said.
And the thing is, like, you never even explained Gojo's powers. Like, I'm the one who had to watch the Vsauce video. So it's like, like, I could figure it out just a little bit because of that. But it's not shown. It's just it's never shown, and they just kind of infer it now, and then we just get it at the end. And I think this is ultimately like my biggest disappointment with it is like I was ready for this moment. I was ready for him to lose. I was ready for him to die. I'm just not satisfied with how. And so I'm wondering that maybe for the anime they'll do a better job showing this. Like, if I saw this cut,
I don't know how you're going to visually explain.
Okay, here's what I want.
I guess is my mind.
Here's what I want. You know the black hole that he showed Jogo when he broke his brain?
Yeah.
Show the cut coming out of that to Gojo. Then I'm happy. Like, just show something that implies that this cut is cutting through the space that you teleport them to, apparently, which I didn't think was a physical location, but apparently is. Anyways, yeah. Gojo's the best, and he's not dead.
I put infinity between you and
In
me,
conclusion,
but
he's
his
not
sword
dead.
Is infinity plus 1 long.
If you can't if you can't explain how he died, he's not dead.
But yeah, I think like that is like the answer. It's just like LOL infinity plus 1, and like sure, it just
Yeah.
Well, like, is it? I guess it was always going to come down to that. If you tell me your power is infinity, you're going to introduce a guy whose power is infinity plus 1.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're just
rereading
disappointed that your answer to your mystery of like, well, how do you make something that's going to be bigger than infinity? It's just lol infinity plus 1. Like, the answer was there all along.
I know, but I don't think Infinite Void is in space. It's everything, man. You said the world, so Earth. Come on, pick one. If you said universe right here, I would have been happy with that. And then they should show like planets exploding because he cut all them in half. Anyway.
I mean, he says there that he adapted to infinity. That's how he beat him.
How? What does that mean?
Mahoraga.
like
he turned off.
good.
That means I
Mahoraga
can touch you now.
Told him how to adapt to. he learned how Mahoraga adapted to infinity, and he was able to do the same, I think.
Yeah.
I made my fingers infinitely longer, so now I can touch you.
See, what they should have fucking done is the Wrinkle in Time thing, where they talk about the ant walking on the line, and then they pick the paper up and they touch the two pieces of the paper together and go, see?
Look, he
They
just
could
moved
close
a
the
million
gap.
feet.
They should
Anyway.
just pause. In the anime, they just pause the action.
And bring Vsauce
and
out.
then the guy pops up just like, hey,
Michael here."
Vsauce, Michael here.
Hey,
How
Jujutsu,
big
it's me,
is
Kaisen here.
infinity?
But what if I told you you could cut someone who was infinitely far away from you?
Yeah. So anyways, that's the Gojo Sukuna fight. How are we feeling?
I mean, I
Well.
could keep going, but you're the one who's had a convention today,
Yeah.
so I'll let you.
I think
I
if
feel
we
like
skim a
Gojo
lot
there-
harder, then we can keep doing it. But if you're done, you're done getting excited over Gojo. That's why this lasted so long.
Gojo
let's
has
face it.
left the building.
Yeah, I know. Gojo left the building, so now it's like whatever. I'm just trying. Like, I know there is other stuff, and then we're gonna get to like the current thing, and then I
Yeah.
want to get to theories, which is easily gonna be another hour.
Yeah. Well, we were going to be doing like a modern catch up, like once we were done with Kagurabachi. So I figured if we can catch up with this one, then we can do like a full one where it's just
Theorizing and
like
stuff later.
new Kagurabachi, new
New
Jujutsu
Jujutsu
Kaisen,
Kaisen,
theories
yeah.
for both. How's that sound?
I mean, I feel like I said this before. I'm cool skimming some of the next stuff a lot faster
Me
to
too.
get to get to our high points that we really want to talk about because I think we could, but I also understand if you are exhausted.
I mean, Ben, how are you feeling?
I'm doing good.
Tyler, how are you feeling?
I'm okay.
Would you rather do this another day?
I would honestly rather do it another day, but I understand it making more sense doing it now.
I don't, dude. If you'd
But I
rather
also
do it
have
another day,
work
we
in
can.
6 hours.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Fuck,
Yeah, we
fuck
should
that
probably-
then. We can do this another day because I think this is a
Okay.
good ending point. Like I think
Yeah.
this is fine.
This is a stunning conclusion to a big fight.
Yeah, I think
we
this
see
is.
which era has won.
Yeah, the classics, the old and trusted beats the new and busted.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Anyways,
right. In that case, we're doing next week. Let's kind of wrap it up with what we're expecting because we want to get more people in on like just like the fun of reading this along with us. So
mhm.
next week we're covering the rest of Kagurabachi. Well, we're covering more of Kagurabachi. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Like we can never tell.
There is a lot. I think this next batch would not take that long, but I do think whatever else comes out like Jujutsu related, because I think there's a lot to talk about with this one that just happened and whatever comes after it, I'm sure is going to be a bunch of shit.
Yeah, there's a lot happening recently.
Yeah.
So, but I think if we're doing Kagurabachi next week and catching up on that,
I'm gonna jump off a bridge. This came out on my birthday.
Wow.
Why would you do
Happy
this to me?
birthday.
Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Kieran.
happy birthday, Kieran.
Did you know that volume
That means he's been gone for
23
almost a year.
Yeah, volume 23's cover is confirmed as his funeral photo.
That's September 24th. This literally came out on my fucking birthday. Just my
Happy
luck.
birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I didn't even celebrate my birthday that year. That's why.
Wow, there you go.
If
That's what
we
happened.
fucking did a party that year, he'd still be
He would've-
alive.
and
He
the
would've
next
won.
chapter came out on my birthday, which is a great gift for me.
Wait, is yours October 1st?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What?
That's cool.
What?
We have a Jujutsu birthday.
Yeah.
And next week we're gonna celebrate Ben's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, happy birthday to me. Just skip. You can skip the rest of this. It all ends right there.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was the end of the series. Was
Yeah.
Gojo's happy goodbye to his friends who he brought back to life after.
What a
defeating
novel idea, ending a
Sukuna.
series at an airport where they take off in a plane. Anyway. But-
Onto a thing that may or may not represent the afterlife.
yeah. Okay. But getting on to stuff for next week. Next week we're doing Kagurabachi again, right?
I'm down.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So anyone
read
who wants
the
to
new
keep up with us, try getting through Kagurabachi. We're not too far ahead from the very
It's
beginning.
only
It's just like 40 something
it'll be
chapters.
44 chapters by the time we would do that. If you haven't read it by now, you should. It's fun.
It's a fun
very
read.
easy to catch up with, and we already said that we are starting to read Dead Demons Dead Destruction.
We mentioned that last time. Yeah, that's the next like recap thing we're doing. I don't know. I think we marked ourselves off for like up to volume 3, which is like chapter 20 something, 24, I think.
Yeah, we should get a definitive count on that.
Yeah,
if
we could
you
like
want to
tweet
look
it out
into
or
that
some
when you
shit.
get the chance, Kieran, and then we'll just tweet it and make a community post or something.
Yeah, if you would like to keep up with
But
the Read It or Not book club.
That'll be a few like Read It or Nots away, so we'll have a more definitive answer then. But if you want to start reading on that, that's what we're doing after this.
And then after the Kagurabachi one, so it's probably going to be Kagurabachi next week after that, Jujutsu catch up. Unless you want to like fill that in next time, but I'm cool with that.
I think that'll work. And then we'll do Dead after that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Any
I like it.
Any closing remarks anybody wants to give?
I think I'd give the Gojo fight a not.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
I'd say you should just watch it on TV when it comes out.
I think it would make
Wow.
for a really good watch. I still give it a ready because even with all the explanations, I don't care about Gojo's on the screen, so it's automatically good.
I also give it a ready. I think the action is paneled very well. So
Yes,
even if
that
I'm
is
a
true.
little bored by some of the explanation segments and stuff and the cutaway bits, feel like it's maybe just playing for filler time.
Okay, how about this? The pages with more than like 5 words of 5 words on them, not for those. Anything with less than 5 words, definitely ready.
So Ben's gonna put out his own edit called Jujutsu Quick Sen.
I'm literally
where
going to change all those panels of them talking to be like, "Whoa, Gojo's really
Whoa,
strong,
Gojo's
isn't
really
he?
cool. Wow,
I'm glad he's on our
wow.
side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just
I
gonna
never
have them all in
expected
unison
this.
just go, wow.
I can barely see him moving.
Wow.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go get some food. What do you want? I think I'd take a cheeseburger. Maybe. Can you get it with no pickles?
Gojo sure is cool.
On second thought, make that an Uber delivery. I can't avert my eyes from this cool thing Gojo did.
So
And it
that's
all
my
makes
version of the
perfect
comic
sense
coming out
as
soon.
usual.
Yeah, so if you
Honestly,
took
it
this
would
fight
be
and
much
just cut
more
out
readable that
all
way.
of those, much more readable, you cut them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, much more readable. Yeah, I just have the principal guy or like one of the adults in the room just go like, trust me, this all makes sense. It'd take too long to explain to you.
Yeah, he just looks right at
And then he goes
the
back.
reader and just goes like, "Trust me, he's really cool."
Yeah, you can have Yuji or something go like, how'd that happen? And he goes, don't worry, it made sense.
Yeah.
Explaining it to you would just be a waste of time though. And then it goes back to the fight.
If you'd like to find out how to do this to run your own roleplay campaign, buy the guidebook where we explain how this works. Yeah.
Jujutsu manual available.
Tyler, what's your closing thing? What do you give it?
I give it a reedy. I still, it might be that I had a binding vow locking me in or something, but I was able to follow it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's still majority reedy. Ben's not coming back next time because that's what happens when you defy
He's
the
been
majority.
readied off the island.
Yeah.
We're gonna ready him his rights and then put him in prison.
Yeah, the first time you say not to a reedy or not, you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the binding vow that I made and I didn't tell any of you. Bye, Ben.
Bye.
Good times. Zone.